What's up, guys, and welcome back to Jacksonville for the very last time in this series. Because whether it takes 10 minutes or 10 hours, we're making it up to the big league level today. But at the rate that we're accumulating skill points and the fact that we basically have to climb 10 overall as a third baseman, I think it's going to be closer to that 10-hour mark than the 10-minute mark. But we're just going to have to start off here because we still have this series against the Rail Riders, which is going really well. Won the first two games, obviously have 4 more in the series, and then we have our next start against Worcester. Again, hopefully we'll be able to accumulate points pretty damn quickly, but again, that just means that we're going to have to be better at the plate and, of course, just be stellar on the mound. Haven't had the greatest starts in these last couple, but I think we can really bounce back, especially against a team like Worcester. But we're back in the DH spot. We're hitting third. Let's see if we can keep this win streak going. But one more opportunity here. Let's hope that this is actually going to be our base hit. Especially the guy on first. Well, nope, that's going to be okay. Never mind. We did not hit that hard enough to get all the way to the center fielder. And at least we got a base hit in this one. And that will end up being the win. 5-1, that's awesome. We did get a base hit. We got an RBI. Not exactly the best game, but could have been a lot worse too. So again, that could have been a lot worse, but it could have been a lot better too. But let's see if we can actually make up for it in this one. Again, let's see if we can keep a 4-game win streak going. But hey, look at that. We might actually get the opportunity to finish this game ourselves. How awesome would that be? As that goes to second? But we get out of the game. That's a big win. 4-0. And we won 4 straight against the Rail Riders. Just that we haven't had great games ourselves. It would be really nice to get this call up pretty quickly. Because again, I love playing this game, don't get me wrong. But having to play, an entire season in this one video and chop that up, it's going to be pretty tough. But back at third, let's get some points here. Let's see if we can pick up a base hit in the first. Ooh, nice pitch on that one. Yeah, we did go on that. Great curve. Wasn't expecting that. Again, we got to keep up with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. But hey, if they give us a curveball down the middle, that's even better, as that is actually out of the park. Great way to start the game. And finally, what is that, our 4th home run of the season? Something like that? But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and we go down 5-3. Oh well, at least we homered in that game, and actually got on base again, too. It may have been a hit by pitch, but at least we got on base. So we end up breaking our 4-game win streak, but that's okay. As long as we win this 5th one of the 6-game set, I'm going to be pretty damn happy. Oh, 1 count. Nice change on that one. We know he's not going to gas it by us, so let's wait back. Let's make sure we recognize the pitch, and there we go. A little late on it, of course, because it was the fastball and we were looking off speed, but at least we take it to right, and that's a double, as that one's going to be into the outfield. No, I shouldn't have gone. Yeah, that was stupid. I should have stayed on third. And we're in the game time run, and we ended up picking up the second out of the inning. That's terrible. Terrible play by us. But let's go. That's into a gap. Full. Oh, that falls over the fence? 2 games in a row with the home run. I can't believe it. That's our 5th of the season. Maybe we should play the Rail Riders every single game of the season. Tie game, thanks to us. Let's see if we can put us up by 1 here, too. Look at that. Our average climbed up to 229. Come on, that's a good hit. That's a good hit. Is that going to fall? No shot! 2 home runs in the same game, along with a double. And my goodness, man. We do put us up 2-1. And yeah, we were the entire offense today. That is incredible. Now, if they don't call us up, that's absolutely ridiculous. But still, the fact that we ended up winning that game for us, to win 5 of the 6 games, makes me pretty damn happy. 3 for 4, 2 home runs, and a double. Definitely one of the best games of the season for us. And not only do we raise our batting average to 233, but we pick up 4 skill points. And not just that, but we're going to get a chance to pick up some more here. And that is a big 8 tokens right there. Now, question is, never mind, because we can't get into that. We already got into this game, but let's go. 4-2 record this season. Let's see if we can push it to 5-2, and let's have a much better game in this one than we've had in our last couple starts. So we're starting on the mound here. Again, first game against Worcester, which means we're going to end up picking them up in the our next start is going to be against them too in the last game of the series. It would be our 2nd start against them in this one. As we can't pick up the strike on the slurve either, and we're starting off 2-0. We're doing better in the box, but apparently we're struggling on the mound as we end up bringing it to 3-0. Come on, man. He's not that great of a hitter. You don't have to worry. Just get something over the plate. Finally, we do it with a circle change. I'm going to go fastball a little up, a little in. Uh-oh. That's foul. Oh, my gosh. That could have been really bad. That's all right. We're finishing him off here. Let's go. Going 3-0 to striking him out to start the game. Great way to finish the quote-unquote boss challenge. As we finally pick up that strike right there. All right, come on, Jolts. Allow us to end up picking up, our second strikeout of the game right here. As we can do with the slurve, down and away. Not picking it up. Oh, gosh darn it. That was not down and away enough, but as another quick out. And a great way to start this game against Worcester. Question is, how long are we going to go in this game? The fact that we started off 3-0 led me to believe that we're going to get like 5 innings in this game. But the fact that we've been more efficient right here has been great. Because we can get out of this with 12 pitches if we get him to chase his fastball high. Or inside, pardon me. That's alright, because that sets up for the slurve down and away. And that's going to be a strikeout. / ground out to the first baseman. Now as we get into the 5th inning, man, again, very efficient so far. 43 pitches through, I guess, technically 4 innings. So averaging just under 11 pitches per inning. We love that. And unfortunately, that is going to be the first hit of the game. Not the way we want to start off this 5th inning, but we have a pretty good cushion here. Just unfortunate that we end up giving up the first hit. But again, 4 hitless innings is great, as that is a good stop by the shortstop, but unfortunately not good enough to be able to get anyone out on that one. That's rough. Nice attempt, though. Really not going to give us that one. The first real trouble we've been in all day. So let's see if we can get out of it. Again, some strikeouts here would be great. There it is. Nice. That's going to at least be a pop-out. And for how shallow that is, he's not going 3. Great stop. And what a throw, too. A little offline, but still would have been enough to probably end up picking up the out. But come on, now we need to pick up a strikeout, or we need to pick up a double play. Realistically, I want the strikeout, you know? Because we've only had 2 today. And if we can pick up a 3rd one here, even if it is in the 5th inning, that would be ideal. Let's go. And it's on 3 pitches, too. That's awesome. What we need. So let's see if we can pick up one more. We could do it on 3 pitches again. That'd be even better. Well, we'll see what ends up happening. Change up, down, and in. Oof. No, we're not picking it up on 3. Let's go split. How about that? Oh my gosh, that's not even close to the zone. Okay, fastball. That's going to set up for... Okay, thankfully that's foul. Again, that's going to set up for the down and away slurve. And there's our strikeout. Get him out of here. So thankfully we get out of a jam here in the 5th. And we'll take that. Still 3-0 lead. And that is how it ends. 3-0. 5-2 on the season. And giving up no runs in that one. It's what we love to see. We got into a couple jams, but we worked out of them. Only 6 strikeouts in 7 innings, but still only 4 hits with no runs. We take that. And I love seeing those numbers being green. We have an 8-game hitting streak right now. I didn't even realize that. And a 2-game winning streak as well. 1.69 ERA up to 2.33. That could still be better, don't get me wrong, but we'll definitely take it. Now, after that start, we're going to have, what, 23 skill points? 27? Holy cow. And honestly... what do we do to be able to get the best return, am I right? Maybe if we up the power individually, that would help. Honestly, we'll take that because I think that's going to help us out. And we go up to a 69. I think once we get into 70, I think that's when we start to get into the territory of where we could get called up if we have really good performances here down in AAA. And again, the fact that we're on an 8-game winning streak, or hitting streak, pardon me, means that I think we could have that opportunity. Well, let's get into this next game against Worcester. Let's continue to have a really good series against them. And unfortunately, we do end up losing 5-2. We had opportunities, we just couldn't jump on them. But the good news is we do preserve that hit streak. So let's see if we can actually push it to 11. Let's see if we get Thomas White his first win of the season. Now, that's a crazy score for extra innings. I know it doesn't say the extra innings, but we went into the 10th on that one and we lose 4-0. But at least we kept our hit streak alive. I mean, you got to try to find the positive in everything. You know what I mean? And I think that was the only positive we could take from that one. Well, let's go out there. Let's keep the hit streak alive. But let's see if we can actually win this one. And unfortunately, we definitely didn't earn that win. I mean, first of all, we didn't do great at the plate. We just had that one hit. Otherwise, we struck out 3 times. But yeah, they just outplayed us today. But at least we go up to 240 as a batting average. That's awesome. And not just that, we're about to get into our next start. Going against Garrett Whitlock again. And yeah, I forgot, he's the one we started against in the last one. Forgot, it's our second game against them in the series. But let's go out there. If we can go to 6-2 right here, I would be ecstatic. Let's see if we can start this one off better than we started the last one. Because, again, we started off 3-0 count against Wade. Granted, we did end up ending with the strikeout. But it'd be nice to strike him out in less pitches. You know what I mean? Or we can just make a damn good play there. Grab the ball behind our back and get him out. That's what we love to see. Wasn't a strikeout, obviously, but hell, that was a great play. It's nice to see us fielding our position. So one good thing about us being a fielder and a pitcher is the fact that, at the very least... Damn it. Oh, I can't believe that got through. Again, is at the very least we know how to field our position. Unlike a lot of other pitchers. I hate to admit that as an old pitcher myself. But come on, that's not the way that we want to start. It's not what we want to see. Come on now. We need to pick up an out right here just so we don't have to worry about the guy on second. Yes, he did. And let's see if we can end up striking him out in 3. There it is. Not bad. Now, can we do that again? Only time will tell. Oh, gosh. I shouldn't go up and out with a fastball. Again, that's just like asking him to hit it to left field. There we go. Beautiful. Imagine if we got 2 strikeouts on 6 pitches in a row. Well, that's not, but... That is going to be a ground out. Great throw by the shortstop. That guy on second now shouldn't even be on base. And that's sad. Oh my gosh. No shot. This is so bad. This is so bad. It's the problem with facing the same team twice in the same series. Come on, we need to stop the bleeding right here. And we're not going to do that. Come on. Jolks. Swing through a change. Or just stare at it. That works for me too. Let's get out of this jam and let's go to work at the plate. Let's do that one more time, but let's actually get this one down and out. There we go. Gets a piece though. Fastball up and in. There it is. God, bro, come on. Split? Jesus Christ, are we kidding? Call something near the zone as we end up walking him. That is sad. That is sad. We have had 2 strikeouts this inning that have not been called strikeouts. So let's do it in 3 pitches again against Christian Campbell. Get pissed off. Do it with fastballs. Or go with a changeup on this one. Why not? Down and out too. There we go. All right. Now let's finish him off. Again, finish and stop the bleeding. Thank God. No reason why we should have given up 2 runs in that one, though. Well, I don't know when we ended up picking up that run, but I'm hoping it was before we came out of the game. There we go! Yes! Thank you! That is going to allow us to get on base. That should be a base hit, too. And we end up not only driving in a run, but it's the go-ahead RBI as well. But look at that. We end up scoring a couple more runs. And even though we don't pick up the win, at least the team picks up a win. And at least we didn't pick up a loss. Not our best game out there, and that is definitely going to raise our ERA. But hey, we keep that hit streak alive. And at the very least, we should get some pretty good skill points. So after that game, we do have 13 skill points. We are going to get into a practice on the next one. But I think we can just do that right there. That brings us up to 70 as a third baseman. And we are starting to climb here. Well, let's get into this one. Back in the 3-hole at third base. Let's see what we can do to actually extend this hit streak again. Oh, but question is it the end? Please tell me this is coming right to us. Don't let them go for a walk-off here. They're going to get a walk-off. They're getting a walk-off. Get him at home. Come on. There it is. Nope. And that's the game. Can you believe it? All because we couldn't get a base hit in this game. We end up losing in the last inning. We had a nice little run going, but boy did we blow it right there. But that just means we get a chance to start up a new one. So let's get into this game and let's see if we can get a multi-base hit at least. Rough game right there. We need to pick it up in these next few. And we've just been horrible against the Iron Pigs. But we can turn it around here. Poor Thomas White, still 0-7 this season. Let's pick up his first win. And we pick up our third straight loss. We had opportunities, we just didn't take them. But that just means that we're hopping right into this next one, man. 3-game losing streak, and we're not doing well at the plate. And we're down 6-3 in the 8th. Oh, man. We wait back a little bit more on that curve. That ball is down the line for a double. That's okay. We can still pick up a hit here. Great curveball again. Do you think he's setting us up for that fastball? I mean, why not, man? Change the speed on us. Go ahead. That is. At least pick up a base hit. Shouldn't have been so predictable. Well, pick up the double, but still, at least that's a single, and at least we get on base. But he will go for a sidestep, I would imagine. No! The long delivery. No shot. Can't believe the line out when we were stealing. And we go down 6-3. But unfortunately, the hit in that one, despite the fact that it was our 50th, isn't really going to mean much. Well, we're going to be getting into our start in the next one, but we only have 10 skill points. Are we still going to probably put them in somewhere? I think so, because I think our fielding and our throwing needs to go up a little bit. It's not going to up our overall as a third baseman right now. I think we really need to focus on our contact and our power for that, realistically. But honestly, I think we needed that just as a player. But now we really need to lock in because we're getting into our next start. As you can tell, I already put my bun up because it means I mean business. So let's go in there, let's pick up our 6th win, and let's not drop the ball again like we did in the last game. Let's start this game off on the right foot. The offense giving us 4 runs, something we did not contribute to. But still, at least the offense is picking it up for us, which means as long as we throw as well as we have in pretty much every other game in this series, and we're going to pick up the win. Oh, no, I'm taking this one. I'm taking this one. Get out of my way. I need the points. Let's go. We get the out record, and that's actually one that's going to be times 2. Because I forgot, it's the per 9 that we're getting the double attribute points on. And hopefully, again, we can actually take advantage of that to be able to up our overall much quicker. I hope. Great pitch right there. I ended up picking up the corner. Not something I was expecting to do, but it looked good. Speaking of which, that changeup looked good too. And you know what? Now we go down and away 1-2 count. Finish him off. Let's go. Swings at that one. Don't tell me he's going to be safe. Great throw by the catcher. That's 2 outs this inning. Great way to start this game. I guess it's easier to throw when you know you have a big cushion, like 4-0. Great pitch right there. I love that. Let's go fastball up and in. Let's go. That clips the zone 2. And let's go slurve one more time. Finish him off. Take him out of this game. Boom. Yes, he did. Get him out of here. That's a good way to finish that first inning. Let's go. So here in the 6th now, again, we haven't done much at the plate. We just got that 1 RBI on the fielder's choice. But that just means we need to end this game stellarly. Is that even a word? Here in the 6th. I mean, we have an 8-run lead, man. We really have nothing to worry about here. We just need to make sure that we don't get into some trouble here because, again, the one thing that we're really focusing on now, because we're almost guaranteed to win, is keeping our ERA down where it's at and keeping it under 2. That'd be ideal, as that is a beautiful, beautiful slurve. And now we get him up and in. Good night, buddy. See ya. That's what I'm talking about. Great way to pick up the 2nd out of the inning. And now if we actually get through this one quickly, we could go out for the 7th. And that might be the case, as that is going to be a ground out to 2nd. Well, we didn't go out for the 8th inning, but again, still pick up the win. That's our 6th of the season, and we keep our ERA pretty damn low. We didn't end up picking up a base hit, but again, we hit balls right to guys. And unfortunately, we just couldn't do anything about it. But 7 Ks in 7 innings, 3 hits, and unfortunately that 1 run, but still, another clean game. That is going to be the end of May, though. As we get into June here, we're looking to finish off this series on a really, really good note. Hopefully we can bring that win that we had in the last game into this one, and let's hope we can be better at the plate. Like that, 78 overall compared to all the 60s, and we're still in AAA. And now in the 9th, we're leading off, but we're down by 5. We need a miracle here to even come back. It is currently a 4-hitter, which obviously spans a couple pitchers, but he had a really, really great start. Not going to lie. He was throwing well, too, so it makes sense. But now it's time that we finally get our base hit. We do it against the reliever, and thankfully we're doing that to lead off the 9th. Again, we need an absolute miracle here to come back, but at least we lead off with a base hit. 1-2 count, 2 outs, us on second, and again, we need a miracle to come back. And that is not a miracle right there, as he makes a great play at second. And that's going to be the end of the game as we drop it 7-2. But let's get into this game. Back at third base. Let's see if we can start this series off right, although they are over 500. Well, we go 0-for in that game, and unfortunately we drop it 4-3. I wish we had more highlights. If there's any good news, it's that there is another day, and we have a chance to right the wrongs that we had in that last one, and hopefully we can come back and actually get some base hits. Unfortunately, we've been striking out way too much, but here in the third, we got a chance to right that wrong, as that is a beautiful curveball. And I'll be completely honest with you, not using this as an excuse, but that backdrop is god-awful. Like, how am I supposed to see where the ball's at? It blends right in with the wood. Oh my gosh! Let's go! Please tell me this is going to count as like a, I don't even know, a double with an error? I don't even know what to call that. They're calling that an RBI triple? And now here in the fifth, we're up 1 with a chance to extend it with the guy on second. 0-2 count. Betcha this is a breaking ball out. I don't think that was, but that is going to be a nice little hit. And that is going to be off the wall. Let's go. Stay on second. And we hit the RBI double. Oh, let's go. Come on, don't strike out here. It's a pretty clutch situation. We need to extend this lead, or at least put 2 guys in scoring position. As that is not just scoring position, but that is a bomb. And if we get one more at bat in this one, you know what we have a chance for. We got a double. We got a triple. Now we have a home run. Our 7th of the season. And I think we're just pretty much closed the door. And thankfully we do pick up the win 10-8. Wish we could have picked up the cycle, but still. 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, and a triple with 4 RBI and 2 runs. We'll take that all day. It's about time that we ended up breaking out in a game. So let's go out. Let's see if we can do it again against them before we end up getting into our next start. And we have another opportunity in the second. 3-0 lead. Guys on first and second with 2 outs. Let's actually get a base hit this time, as that is going to be into a gap. Thankfully, that one drops. I should not have gone to second on that one. I should have stayed at first. That was a single. We should have been happy with that. Now, despite the Bison coming back near the end, still end up winning 8-5. And again, I think we only ended up getting 1 hit in that one, but we had 3 RBI. That's not bad. But now, before we get into the game, we got 18 skill points, and realistically, honestly, I think if we up the plate vision once, as well as up in the clutch twice, I think that's going to help out quite a bit. That's going to bring us up to 71, which I think is fantastic. Now, before we actually get into our next start, I do kind of want to look at the roster, see if anything happened up in the big leagues, where right now, wow, we're actually number 5. So we might actually need to work on our pitcher overall, if we're thinking about it, because, again, even though we're picking up the 5 spot, I was hoping that we'd be in the top 3. However, looking at third base, unfortunately, we are still kind of behind. Norby is the one we're catching up to at 79, but Ortiz at an 80 overall. We still have a little ways to go, and man, this is going to be a long-ass video. I'm sorry for how chopped up this is going to be. Because at this point, this is really just going to be a highlight video and then just showing pretty much our stats at the end of every series, as we are getting to the second half of this series against Buffalo, where, again, we are going to be on the mound. 6-2 currently. Let's see if we can push it to 7-2. Because not only will that get us some really good skill points, but we're going to just look a whole lot more attractive to the Marlins, and hopefully that means they'll move us up sooner rather than later. But we'll see. We just need to make sure that we get the best possible game out here, as I don't know why I'm going to the slurve so early in the count. Wow, we didn't even pick up the inside. We're going to have to definitely go back to that in a little bit, but we need to make sure we get strike 2 first, as that is going to be a changeup. Swing and a miss on that too. And yeah, now we go with the slurve. Catcher and I are on the same wavelength here, as there we go. Sitting down, doesn't even swing at it. And we end up picking up that dynamic challenge as well. And a big strikeout to start the first. Let's see if we can keep this up, as he ends up taking a nice little hack at that one. But definitely not enough to be able to stay fair. Or, obviously become like a base hit, as he swings at that one somehow. And now, no. We are not going split. We're elevating a fastball, then going split. Or we go slurb on this one. Oh, we called for the split again, though. Why is he really liking that? Because look at that. That's 2 strikeouts on a slurve. But then again, I guess that's why we're both down here in AAA. There we go. Great pitch on the outside corner to start. Let's go slurve. We're going to keep 2 down right here. Okay. And now we're going to elevate 1. Again, I was kind of hoping that was going to end up clipping the zone. Just, again, to be able to change eye level. As that will... And you know what? No, I want the points. I want the points. Get out of here. He still ended up catching it. Oh, well. End of the first. I mean, the offense still has only scored 1, but we're still looking pretty good right now. As he did. Okay. That's fine. We're on the road. I understand giving him that call. I can't be upset at it. Let's go fastball up and in. That is not going to be where we want it. Okay, we do not want to go 3-0 again. Not again. I would have rather gone 3-0 than have that happen. That is not the way we want to lead off the 5th inning. And oh my gosh, that ball landed so far away. Well, even if we would have stayed in, we wouldn't have ended up picking up the win because we went down 2-1. Don't get me wrong, we didn't do anything in the batters box, but I'm surprised we got taken out after 5. 9 strikeouts though, but that 1 home run is extremely heartbreaking. But let's get through this series here. We got 2 more games left, and we're hitting the 3-hole as the DH. Let's see if we can actually get a hit in this one. Well, bad news is that single was the only one that we got. Good news, we still picked up the win 2-1. So let's close out this series with a really good game here. We're back at 3rd, so maybe being in the field will help us focus a little more. Well, unfortunately, no hits in that one. And we hit the ball pretty hard, just unfortunately right at guys. But we do end up winning 4-0. It's a good way to end the series. But at the same time, only going 5 for 26 in the series, not great. At least we had a home run and 7 RBIs, but at the same time, we could have been a lot better. But hopefully the day off will allow us to kind of regroup for this next series against Syracuse, especially since it is at home. So we've really hit a bit of a slump here. 0 for 3 in this game, but a guy on first with 2 outs here in the 8th. We swing through a fastball. We've been seeing a lot of slow pitching lately, so the 95-mile-an-hour fastball is a little, but that's okay. It's not to say that we can't hit it. We just need to catch up to it, as that slider is not great. And here on a 1-1 count, hopefully we can break out of that slump. Because this could be a good pitch, as it is, and we just don't wait back in time for that slider. Looked really bad. Not the slider, our swing. But 1-2 count, as there we go. Thank you, finally. We end up getting that monkey off our back, and that is an absolute tank to left. 112 exit velocity. And finally, I think our first good highlight in the last couple games. And thankfully, that 2-run bomb was enough to keep our lead as we end up winning 3-1. Finally, we made a difference. So that does end up boosting our average up to 223. Not great, but still not incredibly horrible. But let's go. We got 24 skill points. And realistically, we're going to up the power twice. And that's going to bring us up to a 72 overall. Again, I might want to actually start upping some of the stuff with starting pitching as well. Maybe kind of distribute it a little bit. Again, maybe go into the per 9. But for now, that brings us up a little bit higher, and that should get us 1 step closer. But unfortunately, I think we need to do a little bit better at the plate and in the field if we want to get moved up really soon. Well, the team's already in a hole, which is not great. So let's see if we can start digging out of it here. As that's a nice rope down the left field line. And that is going to be 2 for sure. Even though we ended up picking that up on a hop. Holy cow, nice throw. But not in time to be able to get us at second. 0-2 count. We end up just picking up a little bit of contact. Slider looked really nice. But come on, we need to catch up to a fastball here and wait back on an off speed. As we do, we take that up the middle. And that should end up scoring them. As we're going to stay on first. Even though we probably could have made it to second. And we end up picking up an RBI. A double, a single, and an RBI, we'll take that. It's actually been a pretty decent series at the plate. But let's see if we can actually replicate that here when we're on the mound. Because we would love to pick up our 7th win, and I would love to keep that ERA under 1.78. The fact that the guy that we're facing is a 3.66 gives me a little bit of hope that we might be able to do well in the box. But needless to say, we do need to start by focusing on the mound because we are at home. As we don't pick up the inside strike. That's a little tough. I wish we could have picked that up. And no, we're just not pinpoint with our accuracy today. That's not to say that we're not going to throw a little bit better. There we go. That one ends up finding the zone, and he does end up swinging through it too. So Hey, let's count that as 2 strikes, right? Well, even if we did, that's not going to matter because he ends up taking that to right. And they're going to start with the base hit. But a double play would be really nice here as we pick up the bottom of the zone on that one. Let's even go up and in with the fastball. That's a little too high. But he still swings at it anyways. We're actually going to go split down and out. Set up for the slurve. If he didn't swing at it, which he didn't. And we're going to pick it up here. No, we're not. No, we're not. What are we going to do? No, we're going fastball up. He swung through it last time. He'll do it again. Or he'll make contact. And Mauricio is just making this more difficult than it needs to be. Get him right here. All right, well, at least that's going to be a double play. You know, no strikeout, but we cleared the bases and we got 2 outs in the inning. Good enough for me. You know what? Again, well, actually, honestly, probably the best outcome right there. Again, I would love to have had a strikeout, but again, realistically, as long as we end up... Oof, that was a little too high in the zone. As long as we end up clearing the bases, hey, that's the important thing. We got 2 outs here. And hopefully now we can pick up that 1 strikeout right here against Ben Gamel. Let's go fastball up. There it is. But he won't swing at it. I don't blame him. That's up at his eyes. So let's change that eye level. Bring it down. And we don't pick up the bottom of the zone. Split. Let's go. At least we end up getting that one and we get out of the first. And look at that. We got a chance to actually go up early in this game. As got a 90-something mile-an-hour fastball. If we end up just barreling one up, we can take that deep. Oh my gosh, how did we miss that? How did we miss that? Oh, never mind. The guy was just waiting on second. Okay, I was going to say, I thought that was perfect. And the guy just didn't move, but no. Let's go. Great home run. That's 2 in this series. As we get into the 6th, though, I think this is going to probably be our last inning. 64 pitches through 5. Which actually really isn't half bad, but still, a good amount of pitches. And enough to be able to kind of take us out. But we're still pitching pretty well, aside from that 1 run that we ended up giving up. But we're going to put that aside as the guy does not take the bat off his shoulder. And that is a looking strikeout. But it is Ryan Clifford who has gotten a good base hit on us today already. That's a good pitch right there. I wish our catcher would stop doing that because, bro, I know. We're better. We're better than you. I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean from an overall perspective. We're better. Either way, though, 2-1 count. Thank you. He ends up swinging at that one. And now let's jam him up and in. Let's finish him the right way. And I guess the right way would actually be with a split down and out. Pick it up. Pick it up. God damn it. I don't know if Coach is going to let us finish this inning now. But I hope he does just so we have a chance to be able to end up still picking up the win. And look at that. That is another game that we end up blowing as he ends up taking us out. No confidence in us whatsoever. Unfortunately, our bullpen ended up giving up 4 more runs. And, yeah, we end up losing that one. There goes our 4-game winning streak. We lose that 6-2. At the very least, we did end up picking up a home run, but we gave up 2 runs in 5 2/3. Coach should have at least left us in for that last part of the inning. The fact they didn't was actually pretty upsetting. So we got 3 more games left in this series, and hopefully we can actually go out there and end up picking up some hits. We need the skill points. We are still sitting at 2-0 here in the 3rd, but we got a guy on second, which is good. Hopefully we can take advantage of that as we end up lining that one into the gap. And let's go. That is going to be a double. That ends up scoring a guy, and we finally get on the board this game. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep up after that, and we end up losing 7-4. We had the double and end up scoring a run, and we scored a run ourselves. But, man, we did not produce in any other at-bat. The series is still going pretty well from, well, a hitting perspective. So, hopefully we can keep that going here. We're back at 3rd base. Let's end up picking up a hit or 2. Now, I usually have a pretty good pattern with these videos. You know, 4 in the field, 1 on the mound. But now that we've played so many series, I don't even know where we're at anymore. I don't even know when our next start is. It's coming soon, don't get me wrong. But, again, I think, we're probably like 2 or 3 games away from it. I don't know, again, kind of lost track a little bit. And there we go. We don't have to keep track of that anymore because that one's over the fence. Everyone knows where that one's going to be. And that's going to be a souvenir for someone. That 2-run home run kind of looks meaningless now, doesn't it? 17-5 in the 9th inning. This has been embarrassing. But thankfully, we do end up driving in a run. And look at that. Between the two teams, 30 hits. And thankfully, in that one, we did have 2 of those. Thankfully, one of them did go over the fence for a home run. So let's see if we can replicate that right here as we're facing Blade Tidwell. With a name like that, you know we got to kick his ass. Absolutely nothing against him. I'm sure he's a fantastic person. But we definitely need to make him look as bad as he just made us look on that slider right there. Thankfully, we would end up winning that game. And it was in extra innings as well. We didn't do anything in it, but at least we did get that 1 RBI. As you saw there with our series summary, that definitely made our really good batting average for that series go down just a little bit. As you see, we actually dropped down to 227 on the season. Thankfully, we do get a practice to kind of regroup, and then we're still back at home against Norfolk. Unfortunately, we were completely useless in that one. After going 7 for 26 in the last series, we end up going, I believe, 0 for 5. We had a chance of driving the winning run ourselves. We couldn't do it, so thankfully someone on the team picked us up. I think the only positive out of that is the fact that we do have our start in the next game. And not just that, but we're 97 strikeouts right now. And that means that if this next game goes the way that our last handful of starts have gone, we're going to be end up picking up our 100th strikeout on the season. So hopefully, not only can we perform on the mound, hopefully we'll actually be the antithesis of what I was when I was hitting back in high school. And we're going to pick up some hits. But again, we're starting on the mound here. And hopefully we can actually start off pretty well. His first pitch is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. And that is a really, really quick one. I know we need to strike out the batter there, but honestly, picking up a really quick out, it's a really good thing to see. As, yeah, unfortunately, that circle change. Anytime we throw that early in the game, we always find a way to just kind of throw it in a little bit. Either way, we end up picking up the strike on the split, which did not have a ton of movement. Again, something we might actually have to up coming up soon. And that strike ends, or that fastball ends up making a 1-2. Now we go for the slurve down and out, and we pick up our 98th strikeout. Okay, so we didn't get it there, but we're finishing him up and in. Get him with the fastball. Thank you. That wasn't as high as we wanted it to be, but it's enough to pick up our 98th strikeout of the season. The question is, when are we going to end up picking up that 100th strikeout? Is it going to be in this inning, or is this one going to be one where hopefully we can be pretty efficient and get a couple ground outs or pop outs? I would still love to pick up that strikeout, as this is a possibility. Let's see if we can do it on 0-2. Number 100 of the season, not quite. I think we need to jam him up and in, and if he doesn't swing or anything like that, we end up going down and out. But there we go. Number 100 on the season. And we're cruising in this game. Now here in the 6th, still a 1-1 game. Surprised our offense hasn't exploded for any runs yet, really. Then again, we haven't really helped our own cause. We have not been hitting well today. But at least we're doing okay on the mound. And it sucks we gave up that 1 run, but realistically, we're still in a pretty decent spot right now. There's no way that's going to drop. Thank you very much. What a great reaction time from our right fielder. And that is what you love to see from our defense, you know? Hustle. Speaking of, he tries to hustle down the line but can't make it there. And that is going to be 2 outs here in the 6th. With our pitch count, we might actually go out for the 7th. As long as we don't blow it, you know what I mean? Because we are kind of prone to that. So let's just not do that this time. Great pitch right there. And now 1-1 count. Let's go change up down and in. Pick that up. It's not down and in, but still end up picking it up in the zone. Now we go slurve down and out. He just saw something in the same spot. He's going to want to swing. And he does. Seen 2 down and out now. Time to go up and in. Jam him. Fastball. Swing. Sit him down. Well, sat him down. It just wasn't as a strikeout. Great play, though. 2 outs. Focus on getting the 6-hitter out. And that'll allow us to get out of this little mini jam that we got ourselves in. Because, again, we need to get out of this with no runs if we want to have any shot of picking up a win. And hopefully we're going to be able to get to the plate in the next one and right the wrongs that we've had in this game and be able to pick up the run to help us pick up our, 7th win of the season? Yeah, we would love to see that. That is foul. You know what? Time to strike him out up and in. This is definitely going to be our last inning. So let's see if we can end it the right way. And again, that is going to be with a big strikeout on a split. How do we get this guy out? Want to go slurve? Let's do it. Nope, that's going to bounce in. No walking. We need to get him out right here. Split time. Let's go. It's another foul ball. I can't believe that. Let's go change up. He's expecting fastball. There it is. And it's going to be a line out to the shortstop. All right. At least we get out of the 7th, and we got a chance potentially for a win. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case because our bullpen gave up 2 runs. Way to go, guys. Absolutely love it. So time to at least get a base hit here. So at least this game isn't a complete, waste. You know what I mean? And we had a great performance on the mound minus the 1 run. But, again, we have done nothing at the plate. As there we go. That one's in the center. And that's going to drop. First single, and it gets past him. We might be able to get 3 on this one. This is stupid. We should have stayed at second. And we are out at third. Why did we do that? We aren't even the tying run. I mean, it doesn't look like it was going to make a difference. We still end up losing 3-1. And unfortunately, we had another great game on the mound, which just turned into a no decision. Seems like a very common theme here in Jacksonville. 7 innings, only 3 hits, but the 1 run, but 9 strikeouts. That brings us up to, I believe, 106 on the season. That is the case. 106 with a 1.83 ERA, and they're keeping us down here in AAA. Make it make sense. But let's go. We need to continue this series, and we need to be a little bit better. Our next start is going to be the first game of the next series, so let's focus on the plate here, and let's make sure we get a couple base hits. But we still ended up picking up the win on a walk-off, our 3rd time in the last week. But a 2 for 13 performance in this series is not what we want to see. So let's go out there and change that right now. Now, the cool thing is we are leading the team in home runs with 10, and hopefully we can end up picking up number 11 in this game, as we're down 1-0, and we do end up check swinging at that one. Thank you. A little worried that we ended up going through on that one, but thankfully that's not the case. And let's see if we can put that power to righties that we upped right to the test on this one, as that is a great hit into a gap, and that is definitely going to be a double. We are an absolute machine with doubles this season. Doubles and home runs. That's all we do. That is all we do. Unfortunately, that double was the only highlight for us in that game, and almost the only highlight for our entire team, as we only had 4 hits and 0 runs in that one. We've only had 3 hits in this series, but 2 of them have been doubles. But now it's time to go out there and actually have a multi-hit performance. And so much for multi-hits, because we didn't get a single hit in that one. And in fact, our team only ended up picking up 3 en route to a 2-0 loss. So I wonder what's really changed from that last series to this series. Either way, though, it's the last one. We need to right our wrongs. And again, it's our last game before our next start. Well, starting off 3-0 with a guy on first and 1 out is not necessarily what I was thinking as, a good foot. And let's go. You know what, though? If the team doesn't start off on the good foot in defense, at least we can do it on offense. There we go. There's that home run I was looking for. Thankfully, we tagged that one, and that is going to lower that deficit to just 1. Unfortunately, we haven't done much since the home run, but the team has put up a couple more, and now we're up 5-3. And we have a shot to be able to drive some guys in as we hit that into the outfield. That might be... Nope, that is only 2 for us, but that is also 2 runs to come in right there. And that is now 7-3. A 4 RBI game. And that is more than enough to be able to pick up the win. Jansen Junk back in the rotation. Ends up picking up the win here. 9-3. Again, though, a 4 RBI game with a home run and a double. That made that, previous 3 for 21 series look a lot better now. So not a bad end to the series. Am I right? But now we have 17 skill points. And if we end up doing 1 to the power right there, helping the plate discipline as well, brings us up to 73. And we're inching just closer and closer. But let's go. We're going to get into this game against Worcester. But hold on. Talk about our performance. That's fine. I was hoping for the best there. But unfortunately, it's not the call-up quite yet. It should be coming pretty soon. But yeah, of course, we've been doing a great job on the mound. I know at the plate, it hasn't been great. Our batting average isn't great. But again, we've been making some really good contact. And again, we've been hitting doubles. We've been hitting home runs. And it'd be really nice to be able to continue that going forward so we can up that average as well. I know we need to separate ourselves from the competition, and that's what we're doing by getting our overall up. Again, we really want to focus on being a pitcher, though, more than anything else, because that's what our better overall is. And again, we're going for that per 9 I absolutely love that. And again, that usually yields us the most points. So let's go with that, and let's hope that the 2x bonus is going to be a big help in this game against the Red Sox. Facing Shane Drohan, and hopefully we can go out there and take care of this red-hot lineup. I'm not going to lie, it would actually be really nice to start off with a couple runs and get that cushion right away. First and second, no outs. Wait back on that changeup just a little bit more, and that ball is in a gap somewhere. Somewhere, not sure where, but somewhere. And there we go. Speaking of, that is up the middle. That should end up bringing in a run. The first run of the game, and we're finally helping our own cause right here. And that isn't just the greatest thing to see before you even hit the mound. Oh my gosh, I don't know what is. It would be even nicer if we could actually pick up a first pitch strike one of these times. My goodness, just a little out. There we go. So where we want to see it that time. Bring a fastball. Again, we can be a little more loose in this game, knowing that we have that big lead so far. And let's see if we can be a little more, again, a little more loose out there. We'll throw some pitches that we aren't used to throwing, as unfortunately that split down and out is not going to pick it up. Let's go slurve down and in. Make him look silly. You bet he did. Scooped it. And that is out at first. Let's go. Great way to start off the game. We got 2 outs. Now we need to pick up a strikeout. That would make me feel a lot better. Do we gas him up with a fastball after looking for the fastball on that one? I think so. Sit him down, baby. We get out of the 6th. Question is, do we go out for 7? We sure do. We sure do. And this might be one of the best starts of the season for us. Well, not necessarily, because again, we've had some scoreless games, but still. Never mind, we end up giving up a base hit right there. And I don't know how long of the leash that we're going to have from Coach. Good news is he has 37 speed on second, which means that hopefully we can end up keeping him over there. And never mind. At the very least, we're not going to be in line for a loss, but hopefully he doesn't give up that run. Well, unfortunately, the bullpen blew it. They end up picking up 2 runs, but we do end up winning in the end. But man, that should have been our 7th win of the season. And man, we just need a better bullpen at this point. I will say the good news about that is that run did not count as an earned run. So it lowers our ERA down to a 1.72, and our batting average is up to a 2.24. But again, we need to get that at least up to 2.40 or 2.50 if we want to think about going anywhere. There we go. DH, 3-hole. Let's end up focusing on our at-bats. Well, here in the 6th, we're 0 for 2 right now, but we got a guy on first with 1 out. We have a chance to be able to make a little bit of noise, as that is not a lot of noise. That is a foul ball. Need to be a little faster on that one, but we are worrying about the slider and that circle change as well. Let's see what he brings us right here. Nope, that is a low fastball, and that is not what we want to be swinging at. 1-1 count. Let's bring something in the zone here. You got to be getting tired. But here, we end up getting a little base hit. 1-2 count, and we end up helping ourselves out here just a little bit as we end up advancing him to second. Unfortunately, that base hit is the only thing we get. And yet again, our offense goes scoreless. We lose 1-0. So not necessarily the greatest outing for everyone, but we're back at third. Let's see if we can pick up another hit, but this time potentially in a clutch situation. And just realized too that our next start are going to be against these guys as well. A little worrisome, but it's all right because we just end up hitting a bomb right there. Great way to start the game. 2-run shot, baby. And come on, they can't ignore us now. Well, thankfully that home run inspired the offense, and we ended up winning 5-2. That was the only hit we picked up in that one, but honestly, definitely worth it. Honestly, we keep hitting bombs. They're going to have to move us up eventually, am I right? Either way, Robbie Snelling is on the mound for us. Let's go out there and let's have a game. Unfortunately, there was no success in that game, though. We end up losing it 2-1. Not ideal. We even had 3 strikeouts in that one. It's a little rough, but last game at the plate before we get back on the mound again, and hopefully we can end up picking up some good base hits here. And talk about a disappointing game at the plate for us, man. An 0 for 5 performance. We're 0 for 9 in our last 2 games, and man, we really need to pick that up again if we want to have any chance at making it to the majors. 3 for 22 in the series is god-awful. By the way, guys, really interesting development. We look here at the roster, and we're missing a third baseman. I think one ended up getting traded, so we need to get up to 81 to be able to make it up to the majors, and I think we can do that. I kind of wish they'd just bring us up to be a backup third baseman and also be a starter, but what can you do? But if we perform well in this game and have a really good start, we'll get more points. We'll be able to up our overall, and hopefully that'll make us, again, a little more attracted to Miami. Thankfully, we're starting this game with a 4-0 lead. It's not something we usually see from our offense, but great to see right here. And hopefully that's going to give us enough confidence to have a really good game here, because we definitely need it. So let's go 2 balls consecutively, and there we go. We finally get a strike. It was a foul ball, but at least it was in the zone. Something we couldn't say for those first 2 pitches. Unfortunately, that one was in the zone too, and that one gets taken up the middle for a base hit. These guys have already seen us in this series, so shouldn't be extremely surprised, but again, we just need to kind of sack up right here and make sure that we don't give up any runs. Jolks, if I'm not mistaken, is actually on the White Sox now. So let's see what we can do to actually put him out. There we go. I mean, strike him out and all that kind of stuff has nothing to do with him being on the White Sox. Because, you know, I'm a White Sox fan, but still. Again, I don't know. Right now, I just want to get up to the majors, man. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. This is like my 3rd day trying to film this, getting up to the majors, and this is becoming just a little much. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's go. You shouldn't have gone on our catcher. Right, let's... Ugh. Amazing throw right there. I can't believe he ended up making that. Again, we need to be better. And there we go. That's actually a great way to do it right there, is a strikeout. My guess is that run is charged to us. That's all right. 7-1 game. We're in line for the win. And we got a chance to actually get a base hit right here. And we need to do it because, again, we have been horrible in the box today. The rest of the team has been stellar, but not us. As that is into right field. Does that have the distance? It does, baby! And we actually make a difference. I wasn't sure about that one. I really wasn't. And thankfully, that 0-for-4 performance turns in to a 2-run shot in the 8th inning. All of that in line for a win as well. 7-2 on the season now. Again, it's unfortunate that it looks like that run does get charged to us. And we only had 4 strikeouts in 6. Again, we probably had like 6 other guys in 2 strike counts that we just couldn't put away. So we need to be a little better with that. But again, that is a quality start. And we do pick up a home run in that too. I mean, it doesn't raise our batting average, don't get me wrong. But our ERA goes down. We have a 4-game win streak right now. And we get an extra 16 points from that start. So let's get into this game. Let's see if we can actually get another home run and be able to get some more points. Well, so much for a home run because we didn't even get a base hit in that one. We drop it 5-2. So we're not going to be adding another skill point to that, but at the very least, obviously, we have plenty of skill points here to be able to help us out. So what I think we're going to do is up the contact one. That brings us up to 74. And then I think we up the power against righties once, and then the plate discipline as well. Again, we're still only at a 74. That didn't up us up to a 75, but I think that those are the categories that I think are going to bring us up to a higher overall sooner rather than later. So let's get into this next game. Let's see how many base hits we can get in this one. Well, unfortunately, the infield robbed us of a base hit in that first one, but now we got bases loaded with 1 out. Honestly, a strikeout wouldn't be as bad as a double play, but we want a base hit right here, especially with bases loaded. And that is going to be 1 into a gap. Let's go. Huge gapper right there. And that will end up picking up 3 runs. That is a bases clearing double right there. And we're looking good in this one right now. Honestly, aside from that double, this defense is making great plays on us. It was the shortstop on the first one. It was the right fielder on the second one. And on this one, we got ourselves a double to the wall yet again. Do we go 3? Do we go 3? No, we shouldn't. And now we're going to be caught in a rundown. And we're going to be out. That was so stupid. But it doesn't matter because we still pick up the win 4-3. And look at that. 2 doubles in that one, including 3 RBIs. That's definitely a good bounce back. And excuse me, did I say 3? Make that 4. We literally drove in every single run in that game. Can you believe it? Well, let's go. We got 4 more games against Rochester. As you see, this next one's going to be at home. And then we're back on the road to start the second half of the season. We do have the Futures game in 2 weeks, so hopefully we'll end up getting there. If not, hopefully we'll be up in the majors at that point. Unfortunately, couldn't pick up a base hit in that one, and we go down 7-1. But maybe that's just the way that we're playing this season. 1 good game, 1 bad one. 1 good, 1 bad. So if we continue that trend right here, this one should be a good one. I mean, regardless, I mean, we're on the mound in the next one, so I'm pretty excited for that, to be honest. But again, it would be really nice to be able to be really good at the plate, too. Because hitting just over 200 is not sitting well with me. Is that staying fair? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that was going to take a really weird turn left. But that's a bomb of Cole Henry in the first inning. And what a great way to start. So is that really the formula for us? One good, one bad, one good, one bad? Because nice home run to start. Maybe we can do it again here. Guy on first this time. As that actually gets taken for a ride. However, that is going to be off the wall. I can't believe it. He left another meatball in the middle of the zone for us. And it would have been nice because it's tied here in the fifth now. And there we go. We end up driving one through the infield again. Dude, I know that wasn't as much of a meatball, but still, man, he's been giving us fastballs in. And I don't know why he hasn't quite picked up on that yet. But again, we're having a good game. But we are down 1 run now. And we need to get this guy in. We represent the winning run. As we hit that one right up the middle, man. 4 for 4 game. Are we just facing like the worst pitchers that they have right now? Because we are getting lucky with that. But unfortunately, our 4 for 5 game was not enough to be able to pick up the win in this one. And we dropped 6-5. But again, great performance at the plate. Definitely the best one that we've had this season. 4 for 5 with the home run, the 2 singles, that double, an RBI, a run, and a stolen base. Can't be upset about that. And that is the kind of performance that we need to bring our batting average back up. Because even though 224 isn't necessarily great, it's better than what we were at and what we've been at for a little bit now. But thankfully, we're getting back on the mound in this next game, and it's going to be our second to last start before the Futures game. And we're at over 100 innings already. 7-2, 116 strikeouts, 1.7. Why the hell are we in AAA? We're starting this game scoreless. Obviously, that makes sense, but, you know, we're the away team. So, you know, we had our first half of an inning for us to be able to pick up a score. And we did not do that. We did not do that. However, we just need to be stellar on the mound today. And the last one was a little shaky. You know, 4 strikeouts in a matter of 6 innings. And ended up giving up that 1 run because we stayed in for 1 batter too long in the 7th. But still, we can really improve right here. Again, it was the second start that they had seen against us in that series. As again, we're continuing to see the same issue here, where we're getting guys to 2 strikes and we're just not finding a way to ending up picking up the strikeout on them. As we go with the split, that keeps it down in the zone. That's going to allow us to get the 5-4-3 double play. You'll love to see that. What an efficient inning. Well, at least we got a chance to help our cause right here. As we got a guy on second now. And that is going to be down the line. That should be... Well, that's going to be a single. That's going to be a single, let's be completely honest. As we might have been able to make it to second. But we drive the run in. Well, here in the 5th inning, unfortunately, we're in a very similar situation. 1-1, but again, at least we've been keeping it here. So we just need to make sure that we don't end up giving up a home run against him again. As we let that ground ball come up the middle, and that is going to be a base hit. Not the way to start off the 5th that we wanted. But now we go change up, down and out. Oh, he doesn't pick that up. Great scoop, though. Great scoop. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's go split again. Keep it in the zone. How did he get a good piece of that? Great cutoff there, but unfortunately, still going to allow him to get from first to third. I can't believe they've been getting good contact on us, honestly. It's upsetting. So hopefully we can pick up a strikeout here. Finish him off. Nope, we're not going to get it there. But I bet you a fastball up and in will make him look silly. There it is. Maybe not, because he took that foul quite a distance, too. Slurve down and out. Still makes contact on that. You know what'll get him, though? Yeah, we're going split down and in. There it is. Boom! Doesn't even take the bat off his shoulder, and we need something like that to be able to come back here. But again, our offense needs to pick up a couple runs, and that is going to kind of rely on us as well. So, again, we need to be better at the plate. As I can't believe we gave up another base hit. This is definitely one of the worst starts we've had in a while. That we pick up a great edge strike right there. Go slurve in the zone. That looks really good. Sets up for the 2-2 pitch. We go split. We end the inning on a ground out to the second baseman. Better than nothing, but man, we need to come back here. Unfortunately, we get yanked after that 5th inning, and we do end up losing. We pick up the loss, and we're 7-3. That was so bad that I don't even want to look at the stats of that game. The good news is, at least our ERA is still under 2, and I guess that's something to be proud of. And we did get one of the 3 hits that we had in that game as well, so gotta look at the positives here. Hopefully we can end up picking up some more positives in this one, and we're not just going to fast forward to the end of the game. And hopefully we can actually pick up one of those hits right here. Is in the 4th. We're down 3, and we're way early on that slider. I wanted to wait a little bit, but nope. Nope. My finger was thinking completely different. 0-1 though. And look, I know that's not necessarily going to start a rally because no one's going to be on base. But that ball is a souvenir to whoever in the hell is going to be over there right now. Big hit right there, and we bring it within 2. So at least we didn't completely fast forward to the end of the game. Only 1 hit there, and it was a home run. But we do drop it 5-3. But I will say the awesome thing is, despite the fact that we lost all 3 games in the second half of that series, we went 6 for 13 in those games. Something to be proud of. We're improving just a little bit. And now we're back at 3rd base. And let's hope we can pick up another good base hit. Okay, so we don't get a single hit in that game. And we do end up losing 3-2. But I don't know. I don't have a positive to come out of this one. That's alright. That's just the first game of the series. Now we can get in here again, back at 3rd base, and maybe we'll do a little bit better. Thomas White, 10 losses already, damn. But he could be talking a lot of trash about us at the plate, and he'd be completely justified. That's alright. Ooh, wait back a little more on that curveball, put that PCI down just a little bit, and I think that one could have been a good base hit. That's okay. It's alright. That's why you get 3 strikes. And we're going to get one there. He leaves a curveball hanging. We finally wait back on it. And that ball is gone. That's not going to be a souvenir for someone in the stadium because I think that's out of it. We win 3-2, and we end up having a multi-hit game along with another home run. Love to see that. But we're still number 50 as an MLB prospect. How disrespectful. And while I'd love to up our overall to hopefully get a little higher on that list, I think for now we have to get into this game as the DH and hopefully get some really good points here. We're on the mound in the next game. We know we can pick up points there. As unfortunately, those were the only 3 runs of the game. We end up losing 4-3. But now we got a chance to get on the mound here, and we got a chance to get some really good points. We lost our last one. We're still under a 2.0 ERA, which is awesome. But again, we need to get that win-loss record up just a little bit. So no runs in that first inning, despite the fact that we ended up getting on by hit by pitch. Great pitch right there, kind of. A little inaccurate, but still, at least we picked up the strike. So yeah, unfortunately, what should be at least a 1-0 game is still 0-0. As we end up starting on the mound right here. Let's see if we can start with the strikeout. That was a great location. That's where we want it on 0-2. Just out of the zone like that. Surprised he didn't swing. Not surprised he didn't swing at that one. Let's go slurve and finish him off right here. Good break. But he makes contact. I think it's time to go back to the split. Why not? I love that pitch. Unfortunately, he liked it too. But that is going to be a good play by the second baseman. Ends up picking up the out. We don't strike him out, but at the same time, we get out of that. And wish it could have been a strikeout, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth, am I right? Never understood that saying, to be completely honest with you. But whatever. It works for me. Slurve down. Ooh, he wanted to swing at that one, he just didn't. Yeah, let's elevate a fastball this time. Pick up the strikeout. Boom. There we go. First one in the first inning. All we gotta do is get a double play here, or we strike him out. And then not have to worry about anyone on base. Great pitch. Now we need to finish him up high. There it is. Will you please swing at it, damn it? You're ruining my game here. That's a double play ball. Let's go. Get him. Thank God. We get out of that one. That was a close one. Oh, shoot, but that was the 2 outs. Son of a bitch. I thought that we got out of that one, but nope. That run scores. And now we got to make our own luck right here. Come on, we need to stop the bleeding right here. And I think we're going to get it right there. I'm going to run with you, buddy. Get there. Yeah. Wish we could have picked up the strikeout, but man, we're really waning as a pitcher. Thankfully, the offense ended up picking up 2 runs in that one. And we are now off the hook for the loss as long as we don't give up another run. And thankfully, that's all we needed as we pick up our 8th win of the season. Not exactly the prettiest game, but we still win 4-1. Only 2 strikeouts and 6. Get that off my screen. Not a pretty game, but at least the ERA goes down and the batting average goes up, and that's what you want to see. We got 2 more games left in this series before the Futures game. Hopefully we can actually make it there this season, but you never know. But realistically, I don't really care about the Futures game. I just want to get up to the major leagues. As we're up 8-1 here in the 7th inning, but we've done nothing at the plate. 0 for 3 so far. We're down to 224. Come on, we don't want to end the first half of the season like that, as that might be a duck snorter, as that does end up dropping in. A horrible hit. Horrible hit, and we should not be proud to call that a single. And we end up winning 8-1 in that game. We only ended up getting 1 hit, but hey, you know what? 1 hit is better than nothing. And we're 5 for 20 in the series with a home run and 2 RBIs. I know that's realistically only hitting 250. That's better than our season average. Let's go. Last game before the Futures game, where we actually get a little bit of a rest. And honestly, I think we're going to need it, and hopefully that's going to actually improve us on the mound in our next start. I think we might just be gassed. It'll be nice to get a little bit of rest, and honestly, that's going to do, I hope it's going to do well for us again on the mound here. But let's go. We're up 1-0 here in the 3rd with 2 outs, though. Let's see if we can spark something as we leave that fastball in, and we're sitting here 2-0. Not something you see often with us at the plate, where we get this ahead in the count. He's got to bring something good right here, and we're going to be ready for it. What did I tell you? Is that enough, though? Does that have the distance? It sure does. 109 exit velocity. Obviously, I couldn't hear it. The headphones were right over here. But that is great to see our 17th home run of the season. Unfortunately, it didn't mean much, though, as we end up going down 3-2. Not a great way to end before the All-Star break. At least we did end up getting a home run. Now, before we do end up simulating forward to the Futures game to see if we ended up making it this time, which I don't feel extremely confident that we did, we have 33 skill points. Honestly, we need to up that because I want to get up to 79 as a starting pitcher. And then realistically, I think we actually look at upping the contact on both of those. And we're going to go to a 79 starting pitcher, 75 third baseman. If they don't move us up soon, I'm going to be a little upset because that's a damn good overall. And realistically, compared to the guys that we have in the majors, we should be up there. I will say the downside is the fact that on our team, if we actually look at the roster, of course, we picked third base. If we would have picked first base, you bet your ass we would already be up here, because I can't even find them right there. Look at first baseman, 70 overall. Is there a way for us to be able to change our position? Because if that's the case, maybe we should do that and just get moved up right away. Oh, look at that. We're talking to our agent right now, touching base with us during All-Star break. Now, question is, would she allow us to see if we could actually do that? I'd like to talk about my role with the Marlins. Maybe we could actually change our position here. And that is the option. I still want to be a two-way player, but I want to discuss changing the position I play in the field. Because honestly, if we could go to first base, I think that would be really incredible. Let's see what our agent can end up doing. Because again, if we can end up moving to first, again, I think that might actually be an instant call up to the majors. Because we are a much higher overall than our starting first baseman right now. Obviously, we don't make it to the Futures game, unfortunately. 2 years in a row that we get snubbed. And look at that. We got the front office talking to us. Yes, I do want to change my position. Coach, I do want to stay in the infield, but I do want to go over to first base. Honestly, we could probably choose second base too and do it, but realistically, I think first base, going to another corner, is probably the best way to do it. So let's see, we're getting moved over to first base, and maybe that's going to be the difference between us staying in AAA and getting called up. So let's go. We got moved to first base on this one. Let's see what we can do. I don't know what the fielding opportunities are going to be like in this one, but we're going to find out. And again, hopefully we're going to get called up soon. Unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity in the field, and we didn't really get many opportunities at the plate. We ended up only getting 1 hit in that game, and it was not from us. That's okay. We have plenty more opportunities here at first base. Granted, we are DHing in this one. I thought that ball was going to have the legs to get out, but even if that would have been a 2-run shot, it still would have only been 4-3, but we dropped that 4-1. So maybe if we get a couple games at first base under our belts, then maybe they'll end up calling us up, but again, I don't know the timeline for it. Back at DH, obviously we're on the bump. Let's see if we can have a phenomenal start here. I mean, this lineup is currently red hot, so we're going to have some issues against the Tides, but let's hope that maybe we can make the best of it. And again, make up for the last couple starts that we've had. because they've not been phenomenal. And we need to change that right here. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in Jacksonville for the rest of our lives. And I don't know many people that want that to happen. Great play there at third base. And good out right there. Again, I'm sure it's actually a beautiful city. I don't mean to shit on Florida like that, but still, you know what I mean? I want to be in Miami. I want to be with the Major League Ball Club. Now, Jacksonville is where the Major League Ball Club is. I wouldn't mind being here. I'll just say that. But again, we want to be with the big boys. Can't believe he swung at that on 2-0. Honestly, like that was out of the zone. He would have been way ahead. And instead, now he's facing a 2-2 count. And come on, we need to strike him out right here. We didn't get many in that last one. We need to do it right here. Dylan Carlson's hitting under 200 for the season. And apparently is fouling off every single pitch that comes his way. But thank God we end up closing the door on pitch number 10. We're not going long in this game, I'm telling you that for a fact. Unless we find a way to get some really quick outs, as we're going to do that right there. And thankfully, we end up picking up a quick one. 2-1 count now. He's looking fastball, and we get, oh my gosh, that split is just out. 3-1, now we go fastball. Just no lollipops over the middle, as that's kind of what that was. And now let's go change up. Finish him. Alright, well, that's a home run. We don't want to see that. 1 out, no one on. We're looking really good right now as he swings and misses at that split. Let's go change. Then we gas him up on the next one. Or we almost get our head taken off, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. Okay, let's go split. So we'll get a ground ball. Never mind, that's going to be a walk. Now we jam him up and in. Nope. Let's go split. No. There we go. Wait. That was a ground ball? That looked like it was a line out. That looked like a line out, and we end up going down 2-1. I am just fucking flabbergasted at that. Are you kidding? Get foul. Thank you. Nope. Oh my gosh, he even dropped that against the wall. That's rough. Great pitch right there. That should have been our out pitch. Let's finish him. We're only going 5 in this one. We're at home, goddammit. We're at home! We're at home and we're not getting that pitch. Are you kidding? Finish him off here. At least that's going to be a line out. I think we only go 5. We need to score this inning. Well, unfortunately, we don't. And we lose 4-2 and we pick up our 4th loss of the season. Horrible. And we get swept by the Tides right there. Not the way to end. 5 innings, 2 hits, and 2 earned runs. Can you believe that? Absolutely awful. And we didn't even pick up many points in that one. That's how bad that game was. But let's go. We're getting called into Coach's office. Talking about our performance as we grind through the dog days of the summer. Coach, do not tease me here. Send me up. Are you kidding me? Skip, you're killing me here. Okay, we really seriously need to get more skill points here. I don't know what we need to do to get called up. Do we just need to play better in these games? Have better than a 220 batting average? Probably. But that ain't happening as long as I'm controlling this player right here. Let's go. We're at third base. Maybe we can have a good series here. And maybe at the end of it, we'll get called up. And even though we didn't score on the base paths in that one, we do win 1-0. We did only get 1 base hit, so we're going to have to definitely be better than that. But now with our move to first, I mean, again, 70 overall. I mean, I understand he is a rookie and all that kind of stuff, so you want to give him a shot. But at the same time, man, we're a much higher overall than him and have a higher potential, too. Again, maybe we just need to work on our starting pitcher overall because, again, we are number 5. And we do need to kind of up. If we can get above Cabrera, that would be ideal. You know what? Let's up the big game. That'll up our stamina as well. And look at that. We're up to an 80 overall as a starting pitcher. And that moves us up to number 4 in the organization in terms of overall. Love to see that. 80-75. Compared to where we started this series, that is pretty damn good. So let's get into this one. Let's see if we can get a good base hit. Unfortunately, we didn't pick up any more runs after that, and we dropped that 5-3. Not a fan of the slump that we're in right now. 1 for 8 in this series. We need to pick it up. Either way, this is going to be a long effing video, man. I'm so sorry for that, guys. And it's going to be so chopped up as well. But hopefully you guys are still going to enjoy it. And look at the bright side. In the next video, we're going to be in the major leagues, so something to look forward to for sure. But here in the third inning, first and second no outs. Let's even make a difference here, as we're just late on the fastball. Again, like I said before, I'm not a fan of the slump we're in. So let's try to break out of it right here, and this is the opportunity to do so. Tie game in the third. Why not us? Why not us? I ask that every single game, and I never get an answer. Maybe we can answer it right here. Oh, mother of... a little early on that slider. Mother of... oh, man. But there we go. We at least made contact with that one. Does that have the distance? No shot. All right, now I'm not upset about the fact that we didn't hit that one down the line for a double. Happy that one went over the fence. And let's go. We got ourselves a lead now. And sitting here with a 4-2 lead feels really nice in the fifth. But we need to extend that just a little bit more. Not because I necessarily don't have faith in the bullpen, which, to be fair, I really don't have a lot of faith in them. But because we want to really stat pad here. And that's a damn good way to do so. 2 bombs in a row? Hell yeah. Let's go. And thankfully those 2 home runs allowed us to end up winning that one 5-2. Come on. Why are you not calling us up yet? Now, if the Marlins were actually doing well, I could understand that. But not a single starter in their rotation is over 500. Which leads me to believe they're not doing well this season. Unfortunately, that would be our only hit of the game, but the good news is we still won 6-5. Not just that, but we have 2 home runs and hitting 250 in this series too. Well, thankfully, we're going to have a start in the next game, and then, of course, we have 1 extra one in the field. But then hopefully we're going to get a chance to talk to someone here on this day off in addition to our practice. And hopefully we're not going to be down here in AAA anymore. I am a little worried that we are going to have to raise our batting average up quite a bit if we want to be able to get the call up, but again, we'll find out. We'll see how long it takes. Again, it's already been a long-ass time so far, but hey, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. But what we need to do is really perform here on the mound, because again, with our overall where it's at and us hopefully performing well in this game, again, hopefully that'll be the straw that broke the camel's back for them to end up bringing us back. Or, I'm sorry, up to the major leagues as we get a nice strikeout on that one. It's nice to see. I mean, we were, again, struggling with that in the last couple games. So to be able to start the game with one is actually a really good feeling. All right, we're going to go split. He's expecting fastball. Just make sure it's in the zone, which it is. And unfortunately, I guess he wasn't necessarily expecting the fastball. I guess he was looking for that the split. Either way, though, come on. We can get out of this inning, though. We just need to make sure that we end up getting it in the zone a little bit more. Again, our control has been a bit of an issue, and obviously it kind of is right there too. As Verdugo ends up getting a base hit. He's hitting 3-something, but for a guy who's been up in the big leagues before and for for quite some time, no, he should be hitting pretty well. And unfortunately, that is going to be an RBI single in the first. Really struggling in this one so far. Really struggling. So much for convincing the front office to bring us up, right? Because, man, giving up 1 run in this first inning and getting into a jam after starting out with a strikeout, it's a little rough and embarrassing. That's all right. Gas him up, finish him off. It's a good strikeout. Now we don't have to worry about a double play. Just need to worry about getting an out right here. So let's go. Best 3 pitches of the day right here. Make sure they're in the zone. And you end up getting the out. Sucks we still gave up the run, but at least it was only 1 after that. And now we got 2 outs, but he takes us out. The good news is we're in line for the win. Bad news, we have to rely on this bullpen. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything because we ended up winning 4-2. 9th win of the season. Didn't do anything in the box, but at least we ended up picking up the win, especially after we gave up those two runs. But still, 4 hits, 1 run in 5 2/3, but 9 strikeouts. Nice to see that we're coming back with that. So 1 more game left in the series, and hopefully we can end up picking up a win. We won 4 out of the 5. Who's to say we can't win the 6th? Well, been a pretty boring game for us. We haven't done a damn thing. But hopefully we can end up changing that right here as we get into the 8th inning with 2 outs, a guy on first, but down by 3 runs. If we can make a difference here, that would be really great. And again, be able to up our average as we hit that one to the outfield, but I think that's probably going to be caught at the wall. Or not. Excuse me. Sorry for not having any faith in ourselves, as that ball barely, just barely, goes over the fence, and we end up picking up a home run on that. And hey, now we're back within 1, and then still ended up losing by 4. But at least we got our hit in, and we ended up picking up our, I believe, 20th home run of the season. Not just that, but in that series, even though we didn't hit well, 5 for 24, 3 home runs with 7 RBIs is pretty damn good. But let's make sure that we get into this next practice, and let's hope that we can get another 8 skill points. And thankfully, we'll have those 8 extra skill points to be able to raise something after this game. Because again, we still had some in the bank, and we're going to be able to add it to that, and hopefully that's going to raise our overall. But at this point, honestly, we should be up in the majors. I mean, at this point, I think we've proven that we could actually be a good first baseman, and we are much better overall than who is up there right now. But again, we have not really been performing in the box, so I totally get it. I mean, we're grounded into 13 double plays. We're only hitting 221. So again, I understand, but realistically, you know, like we, especially in the rotation, are going to give them the best shot to be able to win. Again, it doesn't seem like they're doing well this season anyway, so why not take a flyer? As we end up lining that one up the middle, and there we go. At least we get a base hit, especially at an 0-2 count as well. And he ends up advancing to third on that one, going first to third. My guy, that's what I'm talking about. Honestly, great start to the game for our team. As we're here in the 2nd inning up 4-0. Guy on first, 1 out. And we end up getting that one into left field this time. Let's hope maybe next time we can actually hit that to right field. And even though we didn't score on that one, you know what, we're still up. And that's what really matters here. As we leave that curveball in the dirt, we shouldn't have even check swinged at it, to be completely honest with you. But what can I say? Ooh, that's a nice pitch right there. We're a little late on it, though. And that's going to be off the wall. Oh, my gosh. What a great corral out there to be able to actually pick that up. I was hoping we were going to be able to get 3 on that one, but nope. And even though we didn't score there, we're still up 5-3 here. Guys on first and second, and why did we not swing at that pitch right there? That was... Oh, my gosh, man. That ball would have been cracked. Instead, we wait for that one, and that one's going to be a pop-out. Oh, never mind. It is not. Goes over his head, and we're going to end up picking up 2 on that one. Is that going to be 2 runs? Right behind each other as well. And that is a 2-run double. 4 hits next in this game, including 2 doubles. We'll take that. And can you believe it? We actually have a chance for a 5th hit in this game. That would definitely be a career high if we can get it. As we do get that into right field, let's go! Another RBI single. And he ends up getting to third as well. And our first 5-hit game in AAA. And again, in our career in general. A big 5-hit game right there. 2 doubles, 3 singles, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs. Definitely our best performance at the plate. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a big mob outside of our stadium just begging us to get called up to Miami. But unfortunately, we're still on the road in Syracuse. And hopefully we can actually make a difference here at the plate again. We raised our average to 230. We definitely didn't have the same performance as that one, as we ended up going over. But we ended up losing 1-0. Not like anyone on the team really performed. But that's still no excuse for us not to play well. You know what I mean? So let's go out there. We're DHing in this one because our start's in the next one. Let's pick up a couple of hits here and get a little bit of momentum. So much for momentum. We end up dropping it 8-3, and we also go hitless. But at least now we get into our next start and a chance to pick up our 10th win of the season in our last game in July. Again, against Syracuse. Does look like their lineup is a little bit cold, so maybe we can take advantage of that. I mean, again, as long as we are performing better than we have in the last couple games, I will be pretty happy as we do not pick up that strike, or I'm sorry, that fastball up high as a strike. That's all right. We end up picking up the split down in the zone. I think that's where we're gonna have to live, just down in the zone, as that is a nice pitch right there. And you know what? We got to elevate one just so we can get the slurve down and out. You know what I mean? Got to set up for it. Okay, that wasn't really up. That was more in than anything like that. But let's go 2-2. Finish him right here. Let's go. Okay, don't overthrow it. Good throw. There we go. First strikeout of the game. First batter. We love to see it. So let's go. Let's see if we can continue to do it to the rest of their lineup. As that is going to be a foul out. That is one quick at bat right there too. Just one pitch. And now let's see if we can get out of this one before 10 pitches. Imagine that. A 9-pitch inning. Great pitch on that circle change. Great fastball up and in. That's going to just catch the edge for the strike as he fouls it off. So I was trying to call it before it ended up happening and just didn't end up happening. 9th pitch of the game, of the game. And that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. I was hoping that was going to end up being a strikeout, but at least that's a really efficient inning. But now in the 6th, again, probably our last inning of this game. We should be able to end up getting out of this. 2-0 still. Having a great game. We've gotten out a couple jams. And thankfully, they have not had a run to show for it. We've just really been really sacked up in the high leverage situations. Picked up 2 big strikeouts in that 2nd inning when we had the guy on 3rd. And then in the last one that we had an issue in, we still ended up getting out of it even though we had a base runner on to start the inning. We go slurve this time. Keep it in the zone. We do not. We pick up a walk. Not the way that we want to start off the 6th inning. But it's okay. Double play potential. Nope. Nice try though. Get it in. Get it to 3rd. And we got an issue now here in the 6th. Coach is not taking us out, thankfully. Again, another chance to just sack up right here. If that's going to be the double play, nice. That would have been cool if we got the triple play on that one. Could you imagine that? And it just shows how quickly a game and an inning can change in one play. But now we need to make sure that the guy on 2nd doesn't score. Granted, technically, he doesn't matter because the tying run is at the plate, and that's who we really need to worry about. But still, we don't want to give up a run in this one. So let's finish some fastball up and in. Ooh, good pitch, though. We're going split down and in. There it is. Boom! That's how we end the 6th. We get out of the jam, and hopefully that puts us in line for our 10th win. And that is our 10th win of the season right there. We actually had a couple good at-bats, but unfortunately they were hit right at guys. And even in a bases-loaded situation. And that's why we're 0 for 4. But still, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1 walk, unfortunately. But no earned runs, and that's the important thing. But we got 2 games left in this series. Let's hope that we can finish off on a strong note. And again, get us back up over 230. And we could have scored on that one, but we didn't. But the rest of the team did, and we ended up winning 3-2. Only 1 hit in that game, but at least we got a hit that time. 6 for 23 in the series so far. But we do have 1 more game left. Hopefully we can end this one pretty damn well. And again, make this a really good series so that the front office can look at this one specifically and be like, hell yeah, let's call them up. And as you can tell by that score right there, we never did get anyone else on base after that. We ended up dropping to 5-0. At least we end up getting a hit, but man, we need to do better in that one. Well, let's go. Let's get into this game against Rochester. We don't get a chance to talk to Coach. We just need to go out there and just keep performing, hopefully. Well, we didn't end up scoring in that one. We're down 2-0 in the 7th here. But we got a guy on 2nd with no outs. And we could really use a multi-hit game as that ball just cuts away from the barrel of the bat. And that's going to be a foul ball. 0-1 count, though. There we go. That is going to be a liner into, I guess, technically center field. And yeah, just go back, go back, go back, go back. Nope. That is going to be an RBI single, and we will take that all effing day. Thankfully, we would come around to score, and that ended up tying it up. We end up winning it in the 9th inning. 3-2. 2 hits in that one, 2 singles, an RBI, a run, and a stolen base. Tied for 3rd in stolen base. 1st with 65 RBI. 1st in runs. 1st in home runs. What am I missing here? And hopefully it won't be much longer before we end up doing that. But we do have to get into this next game. It is the game before we end up getting on the mound again. Hopefully we can get a couple hits here. Well, it's been a pretty quiet game all around, as we do end up finally hitting one down the line. And that make that a 1-for-2 game. Go back. We might have been able to make it 2nd, but at least we end up getting a single right there. Well, we may not have scored in that inning, but at least the team did, and we ended up winning 2-0. But still, only 1 hit isn't really going to impress anyone. And we need to have better performances if we want to get called up. And we have a good shot at doing it right here because we're going to be on the mound. And since we are facing a pitcher that looks like he just got called up, I actually have a lot of confidence right here as we don't get that call right there, even though we're at home on the first pitch of the game. But still, that could have been an 0-2 count. Instead, it is 1-1. And we have a chance. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Let's go. That should be a quick strikeout right there. But instead, facing a 1-2 count. And now we throw the split down in the zone. And he swings at it. First batter, first strikeout of the game. Still none in the fifth, though. But at least we're racking up the strikeouts. And even if we do get into a little bit of a jam, just one guy on base. And we get out of it pretty quickly. So let's see if we can not start off with a leadoff walk here in the fifth. 2-0, we got to get that in the zone. And that is unfortunately going to be a weak grounder up the middle. And he just does not have the arm to pick that up. So not the way we want to start. But at least we're at the bottom of the order. But a strikeout is acceptable. Let's go. Okay, well, it's not a double play. But at least we pick up the lead runner. And we still got a guy in first here with one out. So essentially the same thing that we would get if we would have ended up picking up a strikeout, except you're, just one less stat in the books for us. Again, a little early trouble, but really? How is that possible? Someone explain to me how that's possible right there. Okay, now we really need a double play, or we need a strikeout right now. There's the double play. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I can't believe it. That should have been a double play ball right there. And instead, our first baseman just F's it up. Fastball up and in. That looks good. And we end up giving up two here. We don't even get out before the end of the fifth. Coach is going to yank us right here. And we're in line for the loss. And here I thought we were going to have a good start. But then we just broke down in the fifth inning. So let's see if we can start a rally and get ourselves off the hook. As that is a nice hit right there. Right into left center and over the fence. Where in the hell was that when we were on the mound? Well, unfortunately we had that one bad inning. And, yeah, despite our home run, we pick up the loss 3-1. 5 losses this year. Good luck getting called up. I mean, we did have 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3, but still, why would that matter if we didn't pick up the win? Either way, now we can focus on our at-bats, and let's hope that we can actually pick it up here. 2-2 count now. Let's see what we can do. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. Maybe it's because we've been in AAA for way too long, but whatever the hell it is, we end up picking up a double right here. That's great to see. And again, even though we ended up picking up an RBI earlier in the game, still our best contribution. I mean, that one came on a double play. This one is a double in the gap. And thankfully, that was followed up by a home run on the next batter. And we end up winning 3-1. And surprisingly enough, in the series, we're 5 for 17 currently. So we got 2 more games in the series here. Honestly, we have enough skill points where I think that we could actually up something, but we're going to hold off until after practice. But honestly, we could have used him in that game because we went 0 for 5 and we lose 4-3. So if that's the case, we're going to go up here, and I think we're going to up the contact each once, and we up that plate vision as well. And I don't think that ups our overall, but I think that when we actually get up to the plate again in this next one, that'll help us out quite a bit. But this is where we find out in our first at-bat right now, as we end up taking one into a gap, but I think that's up in the air. Never mind, not long enough, as he ends up trying to jump for it, misses it, and we might end up picking up a triple right here, as we do. And that does end up being a triple. Great hit right there and a great way to lead off the game. Well, unfortunately, that triple was the only contribution we made to the game, and we drop it 11-4. Thank God we do get a day off here, and again, of course, we got to practice as well. Maybe that'll actually get us ready for this game. But look at that. We got a new starting pitcher up here. Maybe that's a sign that we're getting called up soon? Obviously, that will require us to have a really good start in the next one, but I have a really good feeling about it. I do. But, man, but if we can't hit the damn ball, why would they want to move us up? And we're first on the team with RBIs, home runs, all that kind of stuff. So why not? Give us a shot, please. Ugh, slider. And we are just expecting that to be a fastball. That little bit of break definitely threw us off. And by us, I mean me. 0-2. We end up taking that one. Is that going to drop, or is he going to get there? He is not, and that's going to drop in for just a little base knock. But a great way to start off the fourth. Now, unfortunately, that didn't really make much of a difference because we're down 5-2 in the eighth. The guy on first, as we hit one up the middle, and we keep this going. 2 outs, but now we got the tying run at the plate. And even though one of us did end up getting driven in, we still end up inevitably losing 5-3. But now we got a shot to actually get a little bit of revenge for him. We're sitting at 151 strikeouts, which is actually pretty damn good here. Let's see what we can do to get a little bit closer to 200. And if we're down here in AAA for the entire season, we may as well do something good, right? But what is this? Like our fourth start against the Red Sox in the last, 4 weeks in this video, you know? It's absolutely insane. But that's all right. We have a chance to actually lead off here and knock in the guy from first. What a great way to start a game, am I right? And that is the way to do it. Does that have the distance? It does. And we start off the game with a 2-run shot. Now we just need to make sure we hold this lead. I mean, realistically, that is the start that we needed. I mean, it's the only 2 runs that we got as a team in that inning, but still, that is a lot better than what we usually start off with. So let's make sure that we work on being perfect here. As going 2-0 to start the inning and start the game, not necessarily ideal. He was looking fastball on that one, and he got the circle change. Wasn't expecting that on 2-0. Wasn't expecting that split either. The question is, what do we do to finish him off? You want to go change? Go down and out again. Finish him. Come on, we really want the strikeout right here, and I think we got to go fastball up and in. It's got to be the way. He's looking down. No, he's not. But that does end up being caught by the center fielder. So a little nervous there because, again, it took him quite some time to be able to get over there. But at least that's a great way to start this game. Nice. Ain't going to swing at that one for some bizarre reason. Let's go split. That looks good. You know, if it's fucking opposite day. Let's go slurve. That looks good. Damn. Dude, that would have been a great 0-2 pitch, but unfortunately 1-1. He does not end up offering at it. But he offers at that split. Okay, buddy. Okay. Change. Boom, yes he did. Sit him down. Strikeout number 1 of the game right there. That's a great way to start. On the 6th, still 4-0. And we're, again, just dealing right here. Let's split down and out this time. We've been going down and into righties, but I think we need to get that out again. As I lied, we didn't have to do that. And unfortunately, that is going to be a base hit. So hopefully we can get a ground ball or get a quick strikeout right here. Ground ball will do it. That'll be 4, 6. Can't get to 3 in time now. Unfortunate. But again, at least we got the fielder's choice. And at least we get the lead run. Great pitch right there for the first pitch strike. See if we can keep this up. Nice. Let's go jam him up and in. There it is. Ooh, just a little high. Just a little high. And that is going to be the double play right there. 5-4-3 this time. And we get out of the 6th. Now in the 7th, we still got that 4-0 lead. And we got a chance to get our 4th hit of the game right here. As we had it right there. It was right there. We were even on top of it too. And we just couldn't hit it. That one, though, gets taken into right field. Will that drop? That will. We are not going to end up getting 3 here, unfortunately. But we will end up picking up 2. And that is a 4-for-4 game with 2 doubles. And thankfully, that is how it ends. We get our 11th win. We go 7 scoreless. And we go 4-for-4. Bro, and 7 strikeouts as well. 3 hits, unfortunately, but hell, we scattered those throughout 7 innings. We didn't give up more than 1 hit per inning. I'm pretty happy about that. And honestly, so should the front office. Because damn, man, that was, again, one of the best games that we've had all around. Pitching and hitting, putting them both together. And look at this, we got another guy up here. It looks like he's getting his first start. What happened to the rest of our team? I'm seriously going to have to check that after this game because, again, 2 new pitchers bookending our start. Little strange to me. As we take that one into a gap, and that should be multiple bases. More than likely just 2, but yeah, he ends up picking that off the bounce. And we got ourselves a good double here. And we wouldn't come around to score, which is unfortunate because we end up losing 7-4. But at least we got a base hit again. Can you believe we only have like a month and a half left of the season now? This is a little crazy, and we still haven't been called up. I mean, it's almost already been 2 seasons, for God's sake. Call us up, you know? Come on, guy on third now with 1 out in the 7th inning. Come on, any kind of hit right here will end up driving him home. Either a deep pop fly or something through the infield. That's all we need. Well, I guess that's a little better than that, right? Never mind. That is a foul ball. Just a little early. Otherwise, that is cranked, and that is a 2-run shot. Instead, we swing at a cut, and we end up swinging right through it. Can we do the replay of that? I think that one went fair. That would have been nice. Oh well, though. Come on, we need 1 base hit here. And we're not going to get it, unfortunately. Although we might. We might. I can't believe it. We do. Wow. Because the infield was playing so far in, and the outfield was playing so deep, somehow that ended up falling in, and we get the RBI single. Wasn't the prettiest of hits, but it's a base hit. And that actually, again, gives us our 1 hit in this game, as we end up driving that one over the second baseman's head. And we end up getting a nice single on that. And thankfully, that multi-hit game ended up giving us a win, 5-2. Again, I kind of wish that one was a home run, but we'll take what we can get. Not just that, but 9 for 17 in the series. We are white hot. I mean, this is the kind of streak that we really want to be on. But maybe I should stop getting my hopes up because, unfortunately, we went 0 for 5 in that game, and we end up losing 4-3. What a great series we were having. It's unfortunate now we're only 9 for 22. We do have 1 more game left in this series where we could really come back and actually, prove that we deserve to get moved up. Hopefully, if we end up having a good one in this one, they could just forget that 0 for 5 performance. And this would be a great place to start it off. First inning right here. That's not a bad hit, but I don't think that we hit that deep enough. Yes, we did. I am so sorry. My bad for not having faith in myself. And we start this game with a leadoff double with 1 out. We would end up coming around to score, and here in the 5th inning, we're up 3-0. But we got 2 outs and no one on. Let's see if we can start a rally with 2 outs. Leaving that slider in. Thank you very much. 69 RBIs. Nice. Let's see if we can make it 70 right here with a solo shot. As that might actually... Does that have the distance? Does that have the distance? It does not, but that is going to be another double off the wall. We are just missing these. But we'll take 2 doubles as opposed to, hey, 2 outs, right? 2 hits, 2 runs, and it's not too bad. Hey, you know what? Again, we end up winning here 8-7. Yes, we did score 2 runs, not like we knocked anyone in. But again, we made a bit of a difference, and we ended the series 11 for 27. But before we actually get into practice and this little off day that we have right here, I believe we have a lot of skill points. We have 33, and we're going to end up getting ourselves all the way up to a 77. No reason you shouldn't call us up at this point. In fact, if we were still at third base, we would still get called up at this point because we would be matching who is over at third. But again, we're back on the bump now. Hopefully we can end up getting a lot of skill points here, and that way we can up our pitcher overall as well and make it so that they have no choice but to bring us up. And if we can end up having a game like we did in that last one against the Red Sox, again, man, we're going to have 2 great starts under our belt in a row. And again, if we can end up picking up our 12th win of the season right here too, oh man, that would be a beautiful thing. I would not complain about being in Jacksonville at that point. Although, again, it would be nice to be up at the big league level. But again, the way that the Marlins are playing, and you can see it, again, in their starting pitchers as we went through their records, they are not doing extremely well. Not like us, right there on that strikeout. Let's go. Big one right there, and it's a great way to start the game. Let's see if we finish him on 3 strikes. Good night. Let's go. Great way to end that first inning. 6th inning. Still 2-0. We just struck out the side. And let's see if we can get some more strikeouts right here, too, because we are absolutely dominating. And again, how can you see a 6th inning, like 10 strikeout performance and not want to move them up to the big league club. That was a really lazy catch by the left fielder. But it's an out, and I am appreciative of that. That's a great pitch. We might have to use that for an out pitch one of these times. Fastball up and in. Nice. Jam him up. Fastball. Sit him down, baby. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Boom! Get him out of here. Sit down. Sorry, Chase. You just went chasing for that one. Terrible, I know. But here we go. Just cruising here. Again, I don't know how many strikeouts we have, but it's a lot so far. And we would really love to pick up one more right here. Because this might be actually the last inning that we have. Because we are just hitting 80 pitches. Slurve down and out. We'll finish him. And that's how we finish our day. With a fastball up and in. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. No. Nope. Get out of my way. I'm catching this one. I need the points. I need the points. Thank you. We get out of 6, and that is a great way to probably end our start. So let me get this straight. We go 6 innings, no hits, and a bunch of strikeouts. And our fucking bullpen gives it up. Our team had 2 errors. We only gave up 3 hits. And we gave up 4 runs. What? We didn't end up picking up the loss there, but still, a no decision sucks. 0 for 4, which is awful. But 6 innings, no hits, no walks, no runs, 11 strikeouts. Fucking insane. Almost as insane as not picking up a win on that one. Huh? Let's go, though. We're DHing. Let's get some base hits on this one. And come on, let's get that batting average up to at least 240. That would require a perfect game from us at the plate right now, but we have the ability to do it. We've already done it before, but we need to be ready for those slow fastballs. That's only 91 down in the outside corner. It's okay, though. Because we take that one, that is going to end up going for a double. Great hit right off the wall. Great fielding. But an off-target throw means that we're safe. Unfortunately, we didn't end up scoring on that one, but now we got a guy on first with 1 out in the 6th, but down 3. Base hit would be really nice right here. Keep the inning going as we do into a gap, and he's got a chance to score. 79 speed. Oh, he's coming around to score. That is going to be an RBI double. And our 2nd hit of the game. It's just unfortunate the 2 hits did not end up really helping us out. We only had 4 hits in the game as a team, so we had half our offense, and we only end up scoring 1 en route to a 4-1 loss. And Charlotte is just bodying us right now. But that's alright because we got a chance to go out to the plate again, and hopefully the rest of the offense will actually put it together. And we're going to need to because we are down 1-0 in the 1st inning already. And we are unfortunately not helping our cause, as that is... Oh, no, that is going to end up dropping. Does that actually count as a single, though? Or it sure does. We'll take it, I guess. Now, we didn't score on that one, but our team definitely did. We're up 5-2 now with a guy on second and no outs. Let's get this ball a ride right here and let's drive in that guy from second. Still hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position, so we need to improve that. Improve that pretty damn quickly, too. Ooh, that is a nice curve, but he hung that just a little bit, and that is going to be an RBI single. Can't believe he got in there. And thankfully, all of that was enough to be able to pick up the win 6-3, and finally we performed in the box yet again. And not just that, in addition to the 3 singles and the RBI, we had 2 stolen bases too. Not just that, but our batting average goes up to almost 240. I said I wanted to get up there, and we're definitely getting a little bit closer. And man, no outs with the guy on second, and we already have 1 run. That's beautiful. Ooh, that was a nice curveball. I was expecting the fast, and yeah, we definitely didn't get it. We do need to wait back a little bit, though. 94 maxing out? Come on now. We can hit that for sure. Ooh, we should have not swung at that, but damn it. We did anyways. Oh. I thought we got under that a little too much, but I guess we'll take a 2-run shot. But somehow Charlotte ends up coming back after a great performance at the plate from us, and we end up losing 6-5. Still 2 for 3, the home run, the single, 3 RBIs. We're hitting just under 500 for the series again. Not just that, but we're all the way up to 240 now. Something we have yet to see, at least down here in AAA. Back at DH, let's get a couple base hits here and let's stay over 240. Well, that was the only hit that we would get, and we ended up losing 5-2. 8 for 20 in the series. Not a bad way to be sitting with one game left. But we do have one big start coming up right now. But honestly, I really want to up the stuff in the per 9 just to be able to kind of help us out a little bit. So I think upping the K per 9 and probably the hits per 9 is probably going to be the best way forward. That actually brings us up to an 82. That's going to be great for our next game because this next one is going to be another start, and we need to have a really good one in this one, especially if we want to get called up. I mean, 3 consecutive big starts would be extremely nice. So let's see if we can do this again to Charlotte. Had a great game against them last time, despite the no decision. Thankfully, Deloach ends up just fouling that one off, just bunting it foul. And we got an 0-1 count to start this game. Make that 0-2 as he swings at the fastball out of the zone. And imagine starting this with a strikeout on 3 pitches. Good omen. Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful, but he didn't pick it up. And yeah, we don't get the split on the outer half. But we will get the change up this time. Down and away. Swing at it. Yes, sir. Hey, maybe it wasn't 3 pitches, but it's still a strikeout. That's the way we want to start. See if we can get 2 in a row now. That would be beautiful. That's the second straight guy who's tried to bunt on the first pitch. They know they can't hit me, so they have to go for the cheese. As we end up picking up that slur for a strike. And now we finish. No, we finish up and in, bro. Finish up and in. Sit him down. 2 strikeouts in a row, baby. 2 strikeouts in a row. And we're cruising here in this first inning. Let's see if we can pick up our 3rd in a row. Imagine that. As we end up getting that split. Let's go change up. And then we gas him up high. That was scary. But still, doesn't matter. 0-2 count. Finish him off. If only that would have clipped the zone. We go split down and away. Get him to chase. Yes, sir. 3 straight strikeouts in this first inning. We're cooking. But we can make a difference here with the guy on first and no outs. Just no double plays. That's the important thing right here. As we were actually kind of on that, but no, that little ride on the 2-seam just kind of got it away from the barrel. Pardon me. 0-1 count. As we're going to take that one into a gap. Does that have good distance? Or is he going to get there? You know what? Maybe I should start wearing my headphones while I play. That way I would actually hear the crack of the bat. And look at that, our 24th home run of the season. And we put ourselves up 2-0. And we even have another opportunity here in the 5th. We're up 3-0. And we are just dealing on the mound. Seriously dealing. We thought that we had a lot of strikeouts in that last game. You haven't seen anything as we take that one into a gap. And we got ourselves a double here. Performing well on the mound and at the plate yet again. And this game loves us so much they give us another opportunity in the 8th. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Getting overzealous at a slider. Nice work, buddy. Come on, you're better than that. Weight back on this. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And that is going to be a liner up the middle. That ends up dropping. And that is going to be yet another RBI. And needless to say, that is more than enough to be able to pick up our 12th win of the season. We win 9-5. And honestly, after that performance, if we don't get called into coach's office after that, I'm going to be surprised. We ended that series 12 for 25 with 2 home runs, 10 RBI, and we went 6 strong, 3 hits, 1 earned, but 12 strikeouts. Effing insane. I mean, we improved our average to 2.45 and our ERA is down to 1.6. Why would you not want us down or up at that level? But we're going into coach's office. Want to talk about our performance. And come on, man, we've been doing great. Absolutely. But do you still want to see more growth? Have you seen our stats over the last month? So I'm just getting fed up with this at this point. We got to start coming up here, and we need to make sure that we actually get some good hits. Because as long as we keep going the way that we're going, we should get called up soon. But my God, man, this video is going to be so chopped up. I am so sorry. Because I have like 8 hours of footage that I need to pare down to like 40 minutes. And we're going to be recording even more if we have games like this. But good news is, you're not going to see any plays in this one because we did that bad. We lost 3-1. We were on such a tear in the batter's box. And then we just kind of put up an 0-for-4 performance like that. Let's improve on that here. Let's go here in the 3rd inning. 1 out. 2 guys on. And we got a chance to put us up even more. Currently, we're up 1-0, and we're actually sitting in a pretty good spot. I was going to say, speaking of pretty good spots, we did not wait back on that one enough. But that was going to be a good swing right there. Unfortunately, just missed it, and just early. That's all right. We end up hitting that one through the infield, and that should be an RBI, as we're going to stay on first. And let's take that. Great way to end up starting this game. But still not bad. I mean, we ended up having 2 hits in the game. Great way to bounce back from an 0-for-4 performance. And then we just absolutely smoked them. Whoever our pitcher was, 2-hitter? Thomas White with an 8-inning gem, but only 3 strikeouts. So I still like to think that we're the better pitcher on the team. Let's go out there and let's see if we can get some more hits. Another multi-base hit would be nice. Let's get over 250 finally. No luck so far, but we got a bases loaded 2-out opportunity right here where we have a chance to go ahead even more than we already are. Up 2-0 right now. We lead that fastball up. Best pitch has been his slider so far. I wonder if he goes back to it here on the 2-1 count. I don't think that is. That is going to be a fastball in the outer half. And let's go. Is that our first career grand slam? I think we might have one more in the past, but definitely, I believe, first one this season. And our 25th home run ends up going for 4 right there as we extend our lead. And even though we didn't necessarily need all 4 of those runs in the end, still comes in handy. We win 7-1. And we are absolutely killing it right now. Well, I shouldn't say that because I think we only have like 3 hits in the series. But at the same time, though, that last one going for a grand slam, it's a damn good feeling. Not just that, but we actually have our start in the next game. I'm super excited for that. And I'm excited for this opportunity right here as well. Oof, shouldn't have swung at that first pitch. Should have let that one go down. But we got first, second, no outs here in the first. And a chance to end up going ahead right away. As we wait on that one gets through the infield. Does he have the speed to get home? It looks like he does. We got ourselves an RBI single, first run of the game. And in the 3rd inning, that has still been the difference in this game. As let's see if this time we can actually get a base hit here and start the rally in the 3rd, as that is literally just short of a home run. And you bet your ass we were taking 3 on this one. Can we get in? You bet we do. An RBI single and a triple. What a game so far. Now, it wasn't a huge rally that we started, but it was enough to be able to get a run, and we get another good hit. Is that going to end up dropping? It will, just over the fence. Did you see that? That hit the top of the fence and ended up going over. That is insane. I've not seen that before. And unfortunately, we were a double shy of the cycle. But at the same time, we were pretty much our entire offense. We drove in that first run, we were the second run, and then we hit a home run for the 3rd. Damn good game, 3 for 4. So let's get into this one. Let's see if we can pick up our 13th win of the season. And honestly, we're creeping up towards 200 strikeouts. We might be able to hit that before we get called up. Our offense went 1-2-3 in that inning, so let's see if our defense can make these guys go 1-2-3 as well, as he ends up fouling that one off. We start with a good first pitch strike. I love it. See if we can get a fastball up and in as well. That looks good. Hell yeah, that just goes right in the zone. It's a little high, but thankfully, again, drops right there. Let's go with the change. I thought we could have actually had a strikeout on that one, damn it. But still, it's a ground out to first. 3 pitches, we got 1 out. Good efficiency so far. See if we can just keep that up right now. As no, we leave that one just inside. And maybe we're going to have to start to up the control and everything on our pitches. Granted, if we keep throwing that split right there, we're looking good today. Uh-oh. Wow. All right, slurve time. Finish him down and away. Uh-oh. Okay, good job. All right. Not bad. All right. 2 quick outs here in the first inning. And again, picking up 1 strikeout is really nice. That means we're only 18 away from the 200 mark. I'm hoping we can do that in the next couple games. Probably between this one, the next one, and the one after that. I think we'll end up hitting that 200 mark. And there we go. We end up getting out of the first, and we're starting this game pretty well. And thankfully, we do end up scoring in that inning. But unfortunately, it was only us, and of course, whoever was on base ahead of us as well. So we start off with the first pitch ball. 2-0 though. Nice little cushion right here. Let's see if we can actually end up getting a big dub out of this one. We need it. And we've been doing pretty well at the plate in the last handful of games, minus that 1 0 for 4 performance. But, again, we are proving our worth in this organization as we pick up a big strikeout right there. They would end up getting one on us on a sac fly, but it was more than enough to be able to get the win as we win 2-1, and we pick up our 13th win of the season. We end up going 6 strong, 2 hits, of course that 1 run, but only 5 strikeouts. We're going to have to improve that, but on the series we're hitting 333 right now. And look at how many categories we're leading the team in. I mean, after that, it might actually take a little bit longer to hit that 200 mark, but we're definitely doing it before the end of the season. Let's see if we can actually get that batting average up to 250 now to kind of match that. And not only do we not pick up a hit in that game, but we end up losing 6-1. Not a great way to end that series. But at the same time, we end up going 7 for 25 with 2 home runs and 7 RBI. We're getting into this next game. No chance to talk to coach, no chance to move up. But we're going here against a guy who is just fresh in this lineup. His first start here in AAA. Let's see if we can just rock him right here. Oh, so much for that. Kid went out there and absolutely dealt. 4-hitter in that one. I actually think he went 7 or 8 innings too. Kid wasn't even throwing that hard. It was all just off-speed stuff that we just found a way to just not hit. Come on, man. If we want to get called up, we need to do better than that. Let's see if we can keep this up. 1 for 2 already. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 3 as we lead that fastball out. Now bring the heat. Well, that wasn't the heat. That was a changeup. And we make good contact as that's over the fence, baby. Let's go. We are rejuvenated now that we're the #1 prospect. And come on, number 27 of the season. Let's go. But it still hasn't been enough as we are down 2 in the 9th with 2 outs. Down to our final one with the guy on second. And yeah, whoa, that's actually a nice pitch right there. Usually one we'd swing at, but decided to just kind of leave that down this time. I'm okay with that. Got a base knock right here. How about something a little better than base knock, huh? How about a 2-run bomb to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs? Like I said, rejuvenated now that we're the #1 MLB prospect. You fucking kidding me? And even though we're not the ones to win it, we still end up walking off in the 10th. Big game right there. And again, a 2 home run game for us. A single as well with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. We got 2 more games to the next start. And honestly, like, we could really spend those points right now. But imagine just having a shit ton of points after our next start. But that would require us to continue to have games like we just had in that last one, which this one hasn't turned out to be, as we are 0 for 2. And we get that over the second baseman's head for a double and an RBI as well. And I think we're going to go for 3 on this one. Why not? Let's be greedy. Let's be greedy. Great throw, but we get in there. An RBI triple. We did get stranded, but we still end up winning 5-2. And again, not a bad game. A 2-hit game and a great way to lead into our start. And we also finally got our average up to 250. That's awesome to see. Let's see if we can keep that up, and let's see if we can get a little bit closer to those 200 strikeouts. And it's been smooth sailing. Let's see what we can do to actually get a base hit right here as we do take one into a gap, and we got a chance to give ourselves a little bit of a cushion here as we should end up having an RBI double to end up starting this game. Great start on the mound and great start at the plate. You love to see it as we get into the 3rd here. And thankfully he fouls that one off as it goes to an 0-1 count. Already got 3 strikeouts in this game. Let's see if we can pick up some more here as we get into this one. Thankfully, he fouls that one off too. And now we got to throw him something he won't be able to hit, even if he does swing. And that's that one right there. And that is a 3-pitch strikeout as he gets it to first to get him out. And we have literally just been dealing this game. In the 6th, it's still a 1-0 game. But my goodness, man, I can't wait to see how many strikeouts we have at the end of this, because dude, we have... I wouldn't be surprised if we have double digits at this point. Because, again, these guys have just been swinging and missing at everything. And let me just say that 0 right there isn't the only place that they have 0. So let's see what we can do to continue to deal right here and be perfect through 6. There we go. Beautiful way to strike him out. Like I said, man, we've been getting stuff like that all day. That's been, I think, like the 3rd looking strikeout. Again, can't wait to see how many we actually have at the end of the game. So let's see what we can do to get through the 6 right here really damn quickly. As that one, yes, is going to be a ground out to the second baseman. And we're still looking good right now. Question is, can we finish this out as this is our second time through the lineup, and we do not pick up the circle change. However, we will end up getting this split right here. Ooh, and just barely gets in the zone. Now, we are going to be probably just over 70 pitches by the end of this inning. Ooh, as we missed the slurve. That was a great pitch, though. Let's go change. That looks so good. And now we got a chance to finish this with a strikeout, with a fastball up and in. It's been our spot today, and it still is, baby. We get out of 6. Perfect. 1-0. And Coach has the faith in us here to continue this game here in the 7th, as we, again, are just continuing to be the best pitcher that we can be. 1-0 count, though, to start. 2 outs here. Make that 2-0. You can tell we're definitely getting a little bit tired. But again, just keep yourselves in the game. That's the most important thing, as that's a line out to short, and we get through 7 efficiently. Unfortunately, that is where we get taken out, though. But again, 7 perfect innings. And judging by the fact that we're celebrating at the plate, I would imagine that the bullpen gave this one up. We don't pick up the win, despite the fact that we threw 7 perfect innings. As we'll look at the box score here in just a moment. But yes, 7 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 13 strikeouts. The fuck? Are you kidding me? Really incredible right there. And yes, we do end up giving one up in the 9th. Thanks, Matt. You just vulture my win there. Are you kidding me? Hands down, the best start of our career right there. And that gave us so many points that now, I mean, we kind of have to use them. 51? Are you kidding? Not only does that help out our contact, obviously, but we go up to an 84 as a pitcher and a 78 as a first baseman. Why are we in AAA at this point? Especially being the #1 prospect in the MLB, not just in the franchise. Like, come on now. So let's get in here and let's see, maybe we get a chance to talk to Coach after this series. Because honestly, it feels criminal to keep us down here still, as we end up hitting one into a gap to start the game. And that is going to be an RBI double. We continue our trend at the plate, and we're just making it so they have to notice us. Unfortunately, that was our only hit of the game, but we still end up winning 5-3. Great to see that we're actually pulling it together here at the end. Look at that, 7 for 21 in the series so far. But we still do have one more game left. And look at that, we got a 4-game winning streak right now, and the middle of our lineup is completely hot. Let's see if we can get Michael his 2nd win of the season, and let's take down Ray. He took us down in the last game, and look at that, he did go 8 innings. Well, we may end up going over in that game, but at the very least, we did end up scoring the tying run in extra innings because we're placed on 2nd base, and we still end up picking up a win as a team. Great way to end that series, even if we did go 0 for 5. No call in the coach's office. Don't tell me we stay this entire season in AAA. So 2 for 2, but still, 5th inning, 1-1. 1 out, guy on first. He's stealing, and he doesn't have to go very far, because that ball should be over the fence for a home run, baby. Let's go. 2-run shot, and we go ahead. And boy, did we make a difference in that one. 5-1, and I think we drove in, 3 of those runs right there? We sure did, and we are accounting for one of the runs as well. 3 for 5, great game. Can you believe it, man? This is the 2nd to last series of the season. Again, I'm upset that we're staying down here in AAA this year. Unfortunately, it was a quiet game for us aside from that one. And we go down 1-0. Pretty boring game right there. And unfortunately, we didn't contribute much. And now it's time to get back on the bump. 199 strikeouts, man. 1 away from 200. And we're picking it up in this game right now. And unfortunately, we're starting this game 0-0. We ended up hitting first. So, you know, would have been nice to get a couple runs. But we're fine. Come on, we're 1 strikeout away from 200. We got to pick that up here in this inning as Baker swings it 2 down and away. Now it's time to jam him up and in with the fastball. Uh-oh. Ooh, he wanted to swing at that one. But here we go, guys. Strikeout number 200 of the season. On the slurve, he swings at that. We got number 200. And let's see if we can keep cruising in this game. And after another 5 innings of no-hit ball, we're up to bat with 2 outs here in the 6th, but we need to pick up a run if we want to end up winning the game, as we do get that one down the line just barely, and we got ourselves a single with 2 outs. But unfortunately, as we get the close-up on our chest for some bizarre-ass reason, we don't end up picking up the win. Unfortunately, this went to extra innings, And we ended up dropping it 1-0. Rough after a great start. 6 innings, only 1 hit, 8 strikeouts again. 1 for 5, and actually having a pretty good series again. And if you can believe it, our ERA drops even lower to 1.48. We're under 1.5. We got 3 games left in this series. Let's get into this next game, and let's see if maybe at the end of this series we can actually get called up, although it might be too late in the season for that. And thankfully, that's really all we need to end up winning that one. 3-0. Granted, again, we didn't have the greatest game. 0 for 4, but at least we got the RBI-ish. I mean, we were at the plate when the run came in. Okay, that's good enough for me. So let's get into this next one right here. Again, let's just keep this up and see if we can finish with a really good series. We really need to get a hit here just to get our batting average back up to 250, or at least close to it again. And why not do it with guys on first and second as we hit that one deep, but that should be caught at the warning track. It does not. That ball is actually gone. I can't believe that actually at the distance. Thankfully, we upped the power and everything. And 30th home run of the season ends up cutting the lead. I'm sorry, the deficit to 2. Granted, those were the only 3 runs that we got in the game. But hey, it was us who did it. And we got another home run and another 1 for 4 performance. 1 game left in the series before our final one of the season. So let's go out there and make it a series to remember. But now this is not a good place to find us in. Down 2. But with a guy on second, no outs. This time we need to actually get a base hit here, though. We can't settle for just like a sac fly or anything like that. That's great that we would advance him to third, but not good enough for me. As we end up taking that one, and that's got some distance, and that is off the wall. I should not have gone for 2, but it ends up working out. We got ourselves an RBI double. Thankfully, that was enough to spark a comeback as we're up 7-6 here in the 9th now. That's great to see. Great curveball. Let's go 1-2 count, up 1 here in the 9th. And we end up taking that one deep. And what a way to get back up to 250. Huge bomb and a 111 exit velocity. And we make the difference yet again. We pick up a win 8-6. What a way to end that series. Because again, 2 for 4 game, 8 for 26 with 3 home runs and 12 RBI. That is insane. And 150 hits. So let's get into practice. Let's get our extra points. And let's get into this final, and I mean final, series in AAA. And why not? It looks like it's the last game before we hit the bump again for our final start of the season. Let's see if we can end this on a good note. But we did not start this series off on a good note for us at the plate. We do end up winning 5-1. That's great for the team, but 0 for 4 is not the way to start it. So like I said, this is going to be our final start of the season. We're over 200 strikeouts. We have a chance to pick up our 14th win, and we really want to keep this ERA under 1.5, especially considering the fact that this is our final start of the season, at least on the mound. Obviously, we're going to be starting at first base as well. Can't believe we're not getting that call in our last game of the season on the mound. Great pitch right there, though. Should be an 0-2 count, but instead we got a 1-1. And now let's just find a way to dispose of him pretty damn quickly as we get the foul ball on that one. And we're going to set up for the up and in fastball to hopefully pick up the strikeout. If not, we go down and away with a changeup. Or he'll just find a way to make some contact, but we'll end up popping out the left field. Good way to start. The question is, can we continue to just shut these guys out in this first inning? I know that's only 1 at bat, but that is not the case. Got a ground ball up the middle, and Biggio ends up picking up a single with 1 out. Now, good news, though, is the fact that we do set up for a double play, despite the fact that we are in the middle of a boss challenge now. And even though we're supposed to strike him out, if we can still pick up a double play ball, that would be ideal. 2 fastballs in a row. There we go. That's going to foul it off. And since we went up and in on that one, you know where we go on the last one. And then if this doesn't work, we go split down and away. I'm sorry, down and in. And potentially set up for another slurve. As, oh man, I can't believe he made contact on that. That was nice catch right there. But come on, man, that was a great location for that pitch. It's just unfortunate that it did not end up producing the strikeout. And again, it'd be nice to get more. We are over 200 for the season now, so realistically, again, we definitely hit our goal for that. But again, it'd be nice to end on a good note because we want to get called up. And again, the better our stats look, the more likely we are to get called up. as unfortunately giving up a base hit there on 2 outs is not going to help our cause. Terrible throw from center field. That's alright, we can get out of this jam right here, and hopefully it's the only one that we end up having in this game. As, never mind, that's going to be up the middle. Gun him at home, gun him at home, gun him at home, gun him at home. What a throw, but just not in time. And we give up 1 run in the first inning. Not the way that we want to end the season, you know? Thought we were going to be able to have another shutout, but nope. Not so much. Apparently the Rail Riders are our kryptonite, so to speak. There we go. We finally pick up a strike in there. But come on, we need to be perfect for the rest of this game. Question is, can we do that? And of course, we're going to have to pick it up in the batter's box as well. Because if we're giving up a run on the mound, that means that we at least need to pick up 1 or 2 at the plate. And hopefully we can do that, as well as hopefully pick up that strikeout, which we don't get. And now they're going to be going on the pitch. So I think we're going to go fastball here, and we go up and in. Maybe we can get him to swing through it. We do. Thankfully, we get out of that first inning, but we do give up 1 run. And that's another quick one, which gives us a chance to potentially go out for the 5th if we can get another quick out right here. And hopefully, again, not allow another base runner, and also not allow another run, obviously. That'd be ideal, as we finally get a borderline strike right there. We have not gotten a single one of those today. And honestly, I think that we might be able to go out for the 5th, but just in case it's the last one, let's make this a great pitch. And let's see if we can strike him out and go out the right way here. Slurve. Oh, you betcha. That's a beautiful pitch. And we get out of the 4th. Question is, do we go out for the 5th? And the answer to that question is a resounding no. And the fact that we didn't get up to the plate in that last inning leads me to believe it's still 1-0. And whether we did or not is irrelevant, because we just won in extra innings, as we were the guy on second because we had gotten out last in the inning before. But either way, we pick up the win right there. And even though we don't pick up the win as a pitcher, we do as a team, and we pick up the no decision. And our record right now is solid for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, we didn't have the greatest start on the mound, though, as we only went 4, gave up 8 hits and a run. But we had 5 strikeouts. Our series, though, 0 for 9. We need to pick it up in the box, especially in these last 4 games. I mean, imagine sweeping this last series against them. And especially since they actually had a really good game in the box against us when we were on the mound, it'd be nice to be able to embarrass them at home. Well, that's a little unfortunate that they're up 2-0 here in the first. Well, we got a guy on first. Oh my gosh, that was such a lazy curveball. I don't know why I expected that to come in a little hotter, but apparently not. It's alright though, we end up taking one into the outfield, and that's going to be a base hit, if not a double and a potential RBI, as he is going to make his way all the way around, and we're going to stop at 2. And finally, we end up picking up our first hit of the series, an RBI double. And even though we did score in that inning, they ended up responding as well, and it's now 3-2. But we got a guy on second with 2 outs. Drive him in, and we'll end up being able to tie up the game as we swing just way too early at that fastball. I was hoping to be the hero there, and that did not happen. But we do on that one. What can you say? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything after that first pitch. But either way, that home run right there puts us up by 1. And instead of 3-2, we're now up 4-3 on our 32nd home run of the season. And that ended up being the difference. Big win, 4-3, and after going down early, we find a way to pick up the dub. Plus, that might actually salvage our performance here in this series, because again, those are the only 3 hits that we've gotten. But still, 3 big hits and I think, 13 at-bats? So let's see if we can improve on that right here and try to push our average way above 250. And even though we didn't do anything in the first at bat, I think that we actually get the timing of this pitcher right now. Come on, we got no outs, man. We can't just strand him here in this opportunity. Again, especially with no outs and a guy on first. How about that? We wait back on the curveball that time. And thank God we actually had the timing of that. We might have been a little late on the fastball, which then also kind of bodes the question, why go with off speed on that if we're not catching up to the fastball? Now, we would end up coming around to score, but it didn't matter. They ended up getting more runs in those last couple innings, and we go down 7-3. But still, not a bad game for us. Another home run and another single. So let's see if we can stay on this heater to end the season. Just 2 games left. Let's see if we can pick up a big win right here, too. Because even though there's no shot at us getting to 500, honestly, we're getting pretty close. Right now, we're 4 games under 500. And again, the way that we started this season and everything and the way we've been playing, I'm surprised that we're getting back up there. Nice little late season surge, but too little too late as we hit that liner right up the middle. And he's going to get that, and we're only going to pick up a single. But great way to start, especially with 2 outs. I mean, not that we needed it. We ended up winning 6-3. And let's go. 4-1 series lead. Let's see if we can win the last game of the season. As we get into our final game of the season right here, let's end this on a good note. Let's see if we can take down the Royal Riders 5-1 in this series. And even though we went over in that game, at least the team ended up winning 7-1, and we end the season on a really good note. And if this is our last game in Jacksonville, which hopefully it is, we end up going out pretty well. Series 7 for 25, not bad after starting 0 for 9. 2 home runs and the 5 RBIs, and a really great way to end the month on the mound. No wins, but still a .53 ERA and 26 strikeouts, and 110 RBIs to end the season. I think that we had a great year in AAA. And even if the front office doesn't necessarily agree with that, still, all we can do is just do our best, you know? And look at that, we're 2 games under 500 to end the season. Again, obviously we did not start the season off well, but for how we started, to be able to come back to a 72-74 record is actually pretty incredible. And wow, in 2026, the Red Sox beat the Reds in the World Series. Not something that I ever would have expected, to be completely honest with you. But before we advance into the offseason, I do want to look at our stats and how we ended the season. Because on the mound, we had another great year. 30 games, we won 13, only lost 5. Which means that we had 12 no decisions. Absolutely insane. And we had 17 quality starts out of those 30 games. A 1.49 ERA, which is great. No shutouts or obviously saves or anything like that. But again, we had a couple games where we had them scoreless and in a couple hitless getting into when we ended up getting taken out. So really proud of how we ended up playing this season. And 212 strikeouts? Absolutely incredible considering the fact we had 174 innings. That is actually really great. And also, we look at our performance at the plate, we definitely took a big step up from last season. Obviously, we were doing pretty well in AA, but as soon as we moved up to AAA last season, things went downhill. But we definitely turned things around a little bit. 252 as our batting average. We almost had 40 doubles, 4 triples, 33 home runs, and 110 RBIs, along with 14 stolen bases. Now, obviously we end up striking out 121 times, so let's not think about that. But realistically, we definitely were the MVP on this team, on both the offense and defense. And hopefully the organization can actually see that as we get into the offseason. Oh yeah, 1-year contract, $80,000. I really don't give a damn. As long as you move us up quick, we will take it. So unfortunately, we're starting this new season at AAA. Again, I don't understand. Maybe we end up making some moves that ended up requiring us to stay down here for a little bit longer. But honestly, looking at the roster, we're the 3rd best player in the franchise. Like, period. That's incredible. And of course, yes, that's what ended up happening. We ended up getting Ryan Mountcastle, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But fact of the matter is, come on, we ended up having to stay down here in AAA just because you guys ended up getting someone else. I mean, our overall needs to be the same as basically what it would have been at third base to be able to call us up to the majors. But realistically, that is a very, very disheartening thing to see. So it looks like we're going to have to get up to an 81 as a first baseman if we want to get moved up. So let's see if we can start off on the right foot here. Again, we're the ace. We're the #1 MLB prospect. Let's go out there, let's prove it, and let's get moved up early in the season. I mean, this is our opportunity to kind of start fresh and see if we can actually have a great season like we did in the second half of last year. And especially in that last month and a half, we're definitely on a tear, and it'd be really nice if we could continue that, as that is a fly ball to center, and he camps under it and he catches it. Great way to start off the season right there with one quick out, but we really need to be able to pick up a big game on this one and get multiple strikeouts. Because again, we had that over a 1 ratio of strikeouts to innings pitched, and we'd like to maintain that right here. Although we're not getting many strikeouts, but we are getting a lot of pop flies to center field. Glad he's getting a little bit of work. So let's see if we can do this one ourselves as we face the #3 hitter, and we end up picking up a great changeup right there. And again, we're dealing. You can tell we actually have a little bit of energy, which is something we didn't have at the end of last year, as that one gets into the outfield, but another one to the center fielder. Hey, It should just be us and him. We just continue to be a stud on the mound, but unfortunately, not getting anything going on offense. We had that single, but no one could drive us in, as on 2 outs, we end up dropping another single in there. Let's see if we can come around to score. And even though we don't, at least we go out for the 7th. Again, only 51 pitches. If we keep up this efficiency, we might actually be able to go this entire game. But realistically, we want to get some more strikeouts here. And starting 2-0 is not going to do it. This guy was a boss challenge earlier in the game, so let's make sure that we take him out and don't allow him to get a base hit right here. Because especially if we want to move up on that prospect list again like we have before, we need to take down guys like this. The other guys that are top prospects, they need to go down, because we're going to be seeing them in the major leagues, I'm sure. And hopefully we'll be able to take care of them there as well as we go for the slurve. And that at least is going to be a ground out to short, and we should be able to get through the 7th pretty easily. And even though we have minimal pitches, they're taking us out in the 7th. And unfortunately, despite throwing an absolute gem, we go to 0-1 in the first game of the season. I can't believe we gave up that 1 run in the 2nd inning, unfortunately. But still, 7 Ks through 7 with only 3 hits? That's not too bad, but we need to move up that prospect list again. We were number 1 at one point. And what a heartbreaking way to actually start the season, though. Honestly, we should have had a much better game in that one, and we should have come out with a win. At least we end up going 500 in that last game. But we're 0 for 3 in this one, and we need to pick it up because we're down 1 in the 8th, and we're leading off as we end up seeing that sinker, and we swing just late at it. Come on, we got to wait back on the other pitches and just kind of follow off the sinker, honestly. You know what? Let's just take that one right up the middle for a single. I said we should wait on the sinker, and look at that. We take it up the middle for a single. But come on, we need a little base knock here. We got to keep this up right now as we take that one up the middle. But it ends up being flown out. But we do end up picking up the run on that, but that's kind of meaningless at this point. Especially because the rest of our offense can't do anything and we go down 6-4. Not the way to start the season. But at the very least, we have one more opportunity against Buffalo here in this first little series. So let's go out there and take this seriously. Well, fortunately, we do end up winning, but we went over in that game. I was hoping that we're going to be able to keep our batting average up around 300. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case after this one. But we're going to get into the next game. We are going to get a little practice in, so we're going to get 8 skill points. And then once we're done with the next game, we'll apply them and see if we can up our first base overall. And hopefully we can actually get some more in this next game just to be able to up that. Because, again, we have a long road to go after getting Mountcastle. Unfortunately, we didn't score, and neither is the rest of the team. Tell me if you've heard that before. Down 5-0 in the 9th with 1 out as we swing through the slider. We need to at least score 1 run in this one. Our offense is not that incompetent, despite the fact that it kind of seems like it sometimes, as we pick up our 2nd hit of the game, although a little too late. And that just proves it right there, as we only get 4 hits in the game. We end up getting 2 of those, but we go down 5-0. Our team is pretty terrible. But thankfully now we can go back and spend these points. So we don't up our overall, but at least we up our contact a little bit. Hopefully that's going to help in this game right here. Well, unfortunately, we've been really unsuccessful in this game. And now with 1 out in the 8th, we're down 1. And we need to spark something right here, as that might end up dropping. It does. It does. It does. No shot. And we end up picking up a double on that one. That was insane luck. And that one just dropped right in the right spot. Unfortunately, our offense, per usual, gets stifled. And we don't come in to score. We end up losing by 1. But the good news is our next game is us on the bump. And let's see if we can end up picking up our first win of the season, despite the fact that all those stats should say that we should have a win. Let's start this off on a good note here. Corey Jolt, someone that we've seen a lot in AAA here. And let's see if we can actually dominate him, because apparently him and I have beef. I don't understand why, but I guess we do. At least that's what the game says. 1-1 count, though. We really want to pick up a strikeout here, as we end up getting that foul ball on the slurve in. Now we need to go down and out for this one. Make sure he chases. That looks good. Boom! Big strikeout right there to start the game. And we are cruising here in the first inning to start. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of trouble brewing here in the 3rd, as they ended up scoring 1, and we just walked a guy to first. And now we got 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And we need to try to finish this off with a double play or something. Honestly, we racked up so many strikeouts already that at this point, as long as we pick up 2 outs and we get out of this inning with no more damage, I'm going to be fine. But if we keep getting strikeouts, I'm going to be pretty happy too. It's all right. 1-2 count now. Split down and out. And that's beautiful. Campbell goes down. And now we got a chance to really get out of this jam right here. So we go fastball down and out to start. Pick up a big strike. Now let's go fastball up and in. And see if we can get that same call. As we do, he doesn't swing at that one. Now we go split down and out. Make it your best pitch. That's not your best pitch. That is not. Go slurve. There it is. Not swinging at that, huh, buddy? Will you swing at a split? You bet your ass you will. And we get out of the third, but of course, 1 run again. Well, fortunately, we end up picking up the win, but we got taken out in the 6th inning. We didn't get a base hit. And those runs came after we got taken out. So we're still 0-1 on the season, but at least we win as a team. And we had a great game-ish, kind of. So, 5 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, but 10 strikeouts. At least we're picking those up now. And unfortunately, that ERA ends up going up and that batting average goes down. Not what we want to see, but we can really improve that batting average in this game. Well, unfortunately, that's 8 consecutive at-bats without a hit. Tough. That ERA, or that, I'm sorry, not that ERA, that batting average is going to be under 200 by the end of this game. It's already only at 214. And after a hot start to the season, we need something to go our way. 2-1 count. As we end up hitting that one perfectly. But does that have the distance, or is that going to be caught? That has the distance, thank God. Not only do we end up ending our slump there, but we end up hitting a 2-run shot, and we get ourselves our first home run of the season. Unfortunately, that did not mean much because they ended up winning it in the bottom of the 9th. But at the very least, we end up getting our first home run of the season, even if we were only 1 for 5. But we're going to need a huge game in the next 2 if we want to give ourselves a shot to get called up pretty soon. We're back at first. We need to get some base hits in this one, up that average. And why not do it here? We didn't do it on our first 2 at-bats, so let's get a base hit here in the 6th inning. As nope, we leave that slider out. Guy on first, we are up by 1, but it would be nice to extend that lead. Again, our offense does not get many runs very often, so it'd be nice to get as many as possible in this one. As we take a liner right up the middle, and we finally get our first base hit of the game. Only a single, but at least now we got first and second with 1 out. Unfortunately, that would be the only base hit that we get in the game, but we still end up winning 3-1. But as a team, only 3 hits? We need to pick it up. And honestly, so do I. If we don't get 3 hits in this game, I'm going to be a little upset. And even if the first at-bat was not successful, we got first and second here with 2 outs and a chance to drive someone in. As we get it up the middle, he can't handle it. And unfortunately, he's going to stay at third. So, goodbye RBI, but at least we got bases loaded in the 3rd. But now here in the 8th, still a tie game, no outs, guy on first. We need to get a base hit, as you've got to be kidding me.
He's in there. He's safe.
That ends up being a single? Okay. Well, I'm not going to challenge that. You know what I mean? I'll take the single all day. But unfortunately, we end yet again in the bottom of, I believe, the 9th. And we end up losing here by 1 run. We were 7 for 26 in that series. But we need to be a lot better than that. So now we're back at home against Toledo. But we do get a little practice in first, which means that we're going to be trying to get as many skill points as possible. But again, we need to get a lot more in this game as well, as we are back at DH before our game on the mound. It has been a crazy game so far. 5-2 in the 3rd. Guy on second, 1 out. And we got a chance to drive him in as we take one deep. And that is going to be off the wall for a big RBI double. Great way to, I guess, maybe not start the game because we didn't get a hit in the first one, but be able to pick it up in the second at bat. And thankfully, our offense picks it up, man. 12 hits and 11 runs, and we pick up the dub 11-8. And we did have an RBI double in the 3rd, and we had a sac fly, but 1 for 3, we got to be better. I mean, we legit need to get on one of those tears again where we have multiple home runs over the course of a couple games. But we're back on the mound. We still need to pick up our first win of the season. I think we could do it against the Mud Hens. Now, why do I think that? Don't necessarily know why, but I just have a feeling. You know, we're angry now. We've had 2 good starts, but we just haven't had the offense to back us up in time. So hopefully we can have another good start right here. That offense can really pull through, and especially the way that we've improved over the last, I guess, handful of games in the box. Maybe it'll be enough to be able to make a difference here, and we can pick up a win. And even though we didn't strike them out, at least we got the first out of the game, and we got a chance to, again, make this a great start like we've had in the last 2. But this time, again, hopefully a little bit of help from the rest of the team. As that is a great pitch, and hopefully we can pick up our first strikeout right here, even though we're going with the fastball out. Swing through it. He is not. That's okay, because that's going to set up for the split down and in. And here comes a golf swing, goofy-like, but he makes contact. But that's okay, because we're going to go with the slurve down and out, and we pick it up on the 1-2 count right here. How do you not take the bat off your shoulder, brother? What are we doing here? How are you not swinging at that? Or at that? I know it's a fastball up, but come on, 2-2 count? You got to protect. And there's no way that's going to drop. I can't believe that ended up dropping in. What should have been a strikeout ends up being a base hit into right field. Good news, though. Set up for a double play ball or a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Fastball up and in. And that's going to be hit out of the park. So much for a great start. As Jace Young ends up hitting it out of the park into right field. And we go down 2-0 early. Well, unfortunately, we get taken out in the 5th inning. And here in the 9th, we still haven't scored a run. Where's the run support when we're on the mound? I mean, granted, yes, we have not gotten a hit today either. We are 0 for 3 and only hitting .250 on the season. But at the same time, come on, man. There are 8 other players on this team who should be helping. That is a beautiful curveball. We shouldn't have swung at that. That's all right. Come on. We need to get some base hit in this one. We can't end this hitless. And we're not going to hit that curveball. Let me tell you that for a fact. That ball ain't anywhere near the zone. We ain't swinging at that on 0-2. That was going to bring something good. As he does, and we finally line it up the middle. I can't even be excited, though. We're going to pick up our second loss. I mean, only 4 hits in that game? What happened to that offense that scored 11 earlier? Come on, man. This is not necessarily our fault, despite the 2-run shot that we gave up in the first inning. Those were the only 2 runs we gave up. We went 4 and 4 strikeouts with 6 hits. Yeah, no, we're going to be moving down that MLB prospect list. Especially since that ERA climbs up to over 2 for the first time since midway through last season, if you can believe that. But now we got some skill points here, and we got a chance to use them. 36 total. We definitely up the power, and realistically, with the extra 15, we up the contact one more time each time. That brings us up to 79. Still not the 81 we need to be, but we're definitely on our way. I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit now. It's been over 10 hours, and we still haven't been called up. Well, 0 for 2 so far in the game, but got ourselves an opportunity to lead off the 6th inning right here. 2-2, tie game. As we end up taking that one into left, does that go over his head? You bet it does, and that is going to be a double off the wall and a great way to start the 6th inning. Well, we didn't get driven on that one, but apparently they drove in some guys here in the bottom of the 9th as we end up walking off and we pick up the win. Only 1 hit for us, but at least it was a double, and we ended up going 1 for 4 in that one. We still got half the series here against Toledo. Let's go out there and, man, Tommy Henry's having a great season. Please don't tell me they call him up before us. Unfortunately, we go over in that game, but we do end up winning, which is really great to see, 2-1, but if we don't perform, why does it matter? And we got 2 more games to bring it back here. But man, the way that we're going, is that really going to be possible? But unfortunately, another 0 for performance, and man, we at this point, maybe we should just retire. But one more game, maybe this will actually change our season around. 228 now after starting over 300. What's happened to us? So we may have started this game with a sac fly, but we need an actual base hit here. Especially first and second, as... Are you going to call that on the swing? Come on, show me that down there. Did we really? Okay, yeah, we did go. Never mind. 0-1 count, though. Give me something better than that. As that is better, that's kind of into a gap. Is that going to drop? You bet it is. That is going to be a triple for us. A 2 RBI triple at that. And we got ourselves one of the best hits that we've had all season. And even though we got the triple in that one, we did end up losing. We just need to be much more consistent. The good news is we're going to be on the mound in the next one, and hopefully we can end up doing better in that one. But at least we had 3 RBIs in this one. But still, definitely not the best performance in that game. Again, the other at-bats that we didn't get a base hit were pretty terrible. So let's go out there, let's get some skill points, and let's hope that we can perform on the mound. I mean, realistically, we should be fine here. As long as we don't melt down like we did in that last one, we should pick up the first win of the season for ourselves. And even though we are not getting it done in the box, we can still get it done here on the mound as we start out with the first pitch ball. Not what we want to see. But at the very least, we can keep it in here. Let's go. You don't need to be rattled. Don't need to be rattled at all. Just need to keep throwing good pitches. As that is going to be a chopper to first. We end up getting it. And we end up getting the out at first. We kind of ran him off the base paths there. But still, there's more than enough to be able to pick it up. So let's see if we can keep this up here as they go for the bunt really hard towards third. And thankfully, he ends up picking up the out. 2 quick ones, and we only have 4 pitches under our belt. So let's see if we can finish this one before 10. As that'd be a really nice, efficient inning. As that is just a liner up the middle. So we give up a base hit. Granted, it is with 2 outs. So let's see if we can actually get a strikeout on this one. All right, we've been just trying to get it over the plate. It's time for us to actually throw pitches the way that we want to. That's a nice fastball right there. Let's go up and in with this one. That looks good. You're not going to call that, though? Okay, that's fair. Go change up. Get that in the zone. That looks so good. Now we finish it with the slurve down and in, and we pick up our first strikeout of the game. Really? Surprising. But we end up still getting the out, and we're out of the first. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a little bit of hot water as 3 consecutive, well, I shouldn't say 3 consecutive base hits, but 2 base hits and an error bring this to a full, or 2 bases loaded. But 0-2 right here. Let's see if we can finish this off. That was a great pitch. I think we jam him up and in one more time. And then we go split down and in if he doesn't swing. Okay, this is where we get him though. 1-2 count. We go split down and in. Chases it. Wow. Get the double play though? That's beautiful. And thank God we get out of the jam. Well, despite the fact that we gave up a home run in the 4th inning, we're up 2-1 now. So as long as we keep this up, and we keep getting good strikes like that, then we're in a good position here. 6th inning right now, as he fouls 2 off. But that's going to set up for the down and away slurve. And hopefully this is going to be the first strikeout of many to close out this game. And thankfully we do finally pick up a win. We do end up winning 2-1. Came out of that one in the 6th, and thankfully we continue to keep the lead. Just wish we could have done something at the plate. Funny thing is, aside from that last game, or last start I should say, that was our worst game of the season, and that's the one we picked up the win on. Go figure. Well, we got a base hit and a hit by pitch, so at least we've been on base twice, but still 1 for 3. And we need to find a way to pick up a base hit right here. We're up 6-0, so realistically it doesn't matter. It's just for stat padding, to be completely honest with you. But we love doing that as we're late on the 95. Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's all right. Even count at 1. Make that a 1-2 as we're late on the fastball this time again. And we end up fouling that one off. How much you want to bet he comes with like a slider right here, and we swing out of our shoes out of the zone? Thank you, no one, for taking that bet, because we end up cranking our 2nd home run of the season. And hey, you know what? Maybe I should have more confidence in myself. But confidence or not, we end up picking up the win 7-2. 2 hits on that one. We're on base 3 times. Better than the last few games. But every opportunity that we get, we really need to up our tools right here, because we really need to get to an 80 overall, which if we up the contact, we actually do that. I mean, realistically, at this point, all we need to do is get like 1 or 2 overall higher on our first base just to be able to be over him. And at that point, maybe we actually have a shot to get up there. But that also means that we need to get base hits when we're not on the mound. And again, have much better games on the mound when we're up there, as we actually start off here with the leadoff double, which might actually be an RBI double, which it will be, and that is a great way to start the game. And we even have another shot for an RBI here with a guy on 1st and 2nd with no outs, and we're up 1-2, which is really nice. It's a great slider right there, right in the zone. We were on it, but just, I guess we didn't move that thing. Huh? Interesting. We'll have to do that on this one. As we do, and that ball, if it stays fair, is gone. And I think it did. You bet your ass it did. Let's go. A double and a 3-run shot. And man, we're getting a lot of opportunities here, man. Our offense has finally exploded. Now, if only they can do that when we're on the mound, because has yet to really happen this season. Which is why I think we have, 2 losses right now? Yeah, not ideal. Am I right? 7-3 though. Why did you try to even swing at that? You knew that was going to be out of the zone. Now 0-2. Now it's nice to see that because of the 2-for-2 performance right now. We're up to 257 as we leave that fastball out. So, man, I just can't believe it's the 4th inning. It's already our 3rd at bat in this game. There we go. That is a great hit right there. Thank God that ends up dropping in, and we got ourselves a single. We did save the toughest one for last, but we just couldn't get it. We ended up going 3 for 5 in that one, but still, the triple short of the cycle. Nice that we ended up getting a handful of RBIs and that home run as well. It brings our average up to 260. A lot better than where it was just at the beginning of the game. But let's go out there. Tom Henry on the mound is absolutely killing it. 3-0, 1.35 ERA. Looks like a young us, even though we're still, in our third year? Something like that. Doesn't matter. Let's get some base hits here. And we're going to get a chance to do it with no one on right here, as we leave a fastball down and out. Now, I know no one's on there, 2 outs, but still, it'd be really nice to be able to pick up a nice little base hit here. Ooh, and keep this inning going just a little bit longer. We only got 7 pitches on the day. We want to make sure that we waste as many of those pitches as possible. Ooh, and yeah, waiting on that curveball and not taking it is a good way to do that. 2-1 count. He's got to come with something at least somewhat close to the zone to make us swing. And there it is right there. I don't think that's going to drop. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. I guess I need to be a better judge of these hits. Well, even though we end up losing 3-2, though, it's nice to know that we had a multi-hit game under our belt yet again. It's just unfortunate we didn't drive anyone in this time. We still want to bring that batting average up just a little bit more, and hopefully we'll have a really good chance in this one. As we're back in the DH spot, I think our next start is in the next game, so let's go out there and let's dominate in this one and carry that over into our start. Unfortunately, we haven't had the same performance in this game, as we're 0 for 2 right now, but we got a guy on third with 1 out, or 2 outs, pardon me. We got a chance to drive him in and break this tie. Oh yeah, first on the team in stolen bases. You gotta love it, man. We do a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? Ooh, just a little bit later, and we would have been good on that one. Nice changeup, though. Had a nice little break downward as well. Ooh, there we go. That's the one that we were looking for. Right down the middle. Looks like a slider that just did not end up hitting the spot that he wanted to, and we end up driving in the run. Unfortunately, though, they would end up getting 2 runs themselves, and we go down by 1 and lose 3-2. But the good news is we are on the bump for the last game of this series. Oh, man, a 2.05 ERA, man, that is much higher than what we've been seeing over the last couple seasons, so let's go out there and right the wrongs that we had in the last couple. I mean, realistically, we just need to get more runs on offense. I mean, yes, we have had a couple games that weren't necessarily great. However, again, they were good enough to be able to potentially pick up a win, as that is going to be a ground out to first. And hopefully, again, that can just continue to be a trend in this one. Because realistically, we gave up a lot of base hits recently, and we just can't be having that here. And hopefully we can take care of the top of this order from Memphis, because we need to get a little bit of a revenge game from that last one. That's a great pitch right there, and we might be able to pick up a strikeout down and out to be able to get the second out of the inning, as he ends up making contact, and that's going to be a ground out to first. Great play right there, and we got a chance now to finish this 1-2-3 to start off the game, as that is a fastball up and in. We just missed the zone. Thought that might actually hit, but apparently not. Not when we're on the road in Memphis, and that's going to be a ground out to second. No strikeouts, but we'll pick some up in the later innings. But as we get to the end of the 6th inning right here, we have literally just been cruising. I mean, look at that. We've only had 50 pitches through 5 2/3. And as you can see, the 9-hitter is up right now, and I think you can deduce what that ends up meaning. Let's go 1-1 count. Let's see if we can end up finish this inning off in style and be able to go out for the 7th inning. And unfortunately, with 1 out in the 7th, there was no effort from the center fielder, and it drops in to break up the perfect game. It's a little rough, just like that swing right there. And now we're hoping for a strikeout or a double play ball, as we end up getting the former. And now we got a chance to get out of the 7th inning, which will probably be our last one, despite the fact that pitch count is only at 60 after this pitch. I feel like we could go out for the 8th inning, but realistically, coach is going to take us out, and we're going to end with just a 1-hitter here. If we can pick up this strikeout right here, which we don't, but it will be a ground out to the second baseman, and we get out of 7 with a fantastic game. Well, excuse me, we're going out for the 8th. Coach has actually given us the opportunity, and that is a great play by the shortstop, and a great way to pick up our first out. Guys, we actually have a shot here to go with a complete game. If we can get through this inning pretty quickly. That's not a great split, but we end up picking up the call. Go change down and out. Oh, that is a little too far out. All right, that pitch count, if we can get out of here before 70, coach may end up sending us out for the 9th inning. But that's going to require us to get 2 really quick outs right here, as that slurve should pick one up. R picks up a strike. We got a chance to finish him off here with the split. Sit him down. Big strikeout right there. And again, if we can get out of this in 2 pitches, we're going out for the 9th and have a chance at a complete game. As that is a beautiful pitch right there. We're going to go change up. Make sure to get that in the zone. And that is going to be a play. And we get out of here before... Never mind. That ends up becoming an error. Not great. We should be out of this inning. But instead, we have one more batter. Hopefully. As that is going to be a nice little weak hit. That's going to be a foul ball. End up keeping it low in the zone. That's a good pitch, though. Now we bring one up. Change that eye level. That's beautiful. And now if we go change up, down, and out, we should get out of this inning. Easy. Let's go. We get out of it. Should have been out 1 batter sooner. But hopefully we can go out for the 9th and finish this game. And we don't. But still, phenomenal game. 8 innings. What was that, 2 hits or 1 hit? I can't tell if Curry ended up giving up 1 in that last inning. But we end up winning 1-0. Still no run support, but a phenomenal game. Yeah, it was 1 hit. 7 strikeouts. We got to up that a little bit, but still, what a great game here. And after a start like that, man, you can't really ignore us from getting called up, man. It should be, at this point, we should be all the way down in Miami as opposed to up here and Jacksonville as we get back on first base and hopefully pick up some good base hits. And why not against a righty that throws low 90s? Am I right? That's our specialty. As he ends up leaving one there, a hanging sweeping curve, and that's over the fence. You can't leave that over the center of the plate like that. That ball's getting crushed 9 times out of 10. And even though that one was the only hit that we had in that game, still a nice home run, and we end up winning 5-2. So let's go power against the righties, and let's hope that that's going to make a difference in this next game against the Cubs. My least favorite team in the major leagues. Obviously, this is their affiliate, but let's go out there and embarrass them. Well, so much for embarrassing them, because in the 4th inning here, it's tied up 0-0. And we should have let that one just kind of go inside. That might have been called the strike, could have been called the ball. It was borderline. Either way, we got a guy in second with no outs, and we need to find a way to get him in. As that sneaks through the infield, question is he going to go home? He is. We should have went. And he is safe. Let's go. Great slide. Not just that, but we're able to come in and score. And we're up 3-2 here, down in the bottom of the 8th. Guy in first and no outs. So let's see what we can do to drive him home. Let's extend this lead because, again, not that our bullpen has been bad this year, but it was last year. And I would rather make sure that we have that insurance than just leave it up to them as we drive one into center. And he's going to go from first to third. Thankfully, that was more than enough to be able to pick up the win. Thankfully, our bullpen held it down. And Curry's already got 9 saves on the season. We're absolutely demolishing the Cubs right now. I mean, maybe not a ton of runs, but enough to be able to pick up 2 big wins in a row. Well, we end up winning 3-2. And even though we didn't get a base hit in that one, we got intentionally walked. I mean, I understand it considering how we're hitting versus the 4-hitter, but still, first for everything, right? But still, we need base hits if we want to be able to get skill points. As we're back at DH in this one, I can't wait to get on the mound in the next one. But we need to focus on the box in this one. 2 outs, no one on in the first, of course, to start the game. As that's a nice changeup. Nice changeup. It's only throwing maxed out 95, which means, again, we're going to have to wait back. That's a nice slider right there as well. That little break definitely ended up missing the barrel. So good for him on that one. All right, Gunner, give me one good pitch. Thank you very much. As that one's taken deep. Is it enough, though? It is off the wall. Not quite out of the park, but at the least, we end up getting a double on that one. And even though we end up scoring twice, we only needed 1 run in this one, as we end up winning 6-0, and Ryu gets his first win of the season. And now we got our chance to pick up our 3rd win of the season. We need to have a great game like we had in that last one, and hopefully we can do that against the Cubs. And no better dictator of a game than the first inning that you end up having, as we get a fastball right in there. on Corona. So let's go down and in with the split. Get him to swing at this one, as he will not. Maybe we can actually get a changeup around the same area. That'd be nice. Especially if he's looking fastball. He wanted to take that bat off his shoulder. He did not, though. So fastball up and in yet again. We don't end up getting that call. Split down and out, but keep it in the zone. Uh-oh. Okay. It's good. That ends up producing a foul ball. And now we got a chance to finish him with the slurve. Again, this will dictate the rest of the game. I mean the at-bat, not necessarily that pitch. Nope. Oh no, we're going split down and out. Didn't want to go that far out, but it's enough to be able to get it. And honestly, that might have been a called strike 3 as well. So let's see what we do to do that to the rest of this order too. Why not? As we end up getting him to swing at that fastball up and in, which was going to be out of the zone. But thankfully, still swung at it anyways, but we do end up missing that circle change. Let's go split down and in, just so we can set up for the... Okay, well, I guess that was down and out. And that's not necessarily going to set up for the down and out slurve, but we're going to throw it anyways and get him chasing. Or not. We're going to finish him with the fastball up and in. Get him out of here. Rojas, see you later, buddy. Sit him down. 2 strikeouts in a row. And again, like I said, no better indication of how this game is going to go than the first inning. And 2 quick strikeouts is great. As it's hilarious to see Eloy on the Cubs now, because I believe that is where he started. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was part of that Quintana trade with the White Sox. And even though it looked great at first for us, man, Eloy definitely did not pan out. Too many injuries and did not feel like working at it, as unfortunately that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Maybe I should stop talking shit about Eloy. Sorry, buddy. I loved you for the time you were on our team, but still. Come on, man. Now we're in a rebuilding era. Oh, that's so sad. That's neither here nor there, because that's not part of this game. So let's finish with the slurve down and in, and that's going to end up being a ground out, and I'll stop complaining about the White Sox. And man, again, we've been dominating on the mound, doing really well here, as we have no outs here in the third with the guy on first, and we're up 2-0. It's a great recipe for success for us, and hopefully we can keep this going and potentially extend the lead. No, he did not go. Thank you very much. I think we might have. But that's neither here nor there. He said we did not, and I'm okay with that. We shouldn't have even check swinged at it, to be completely honest with you. And that is a great swing. Question is, does it have the distance? You bet your ass it does. That ball is gone, and we extend the lead to 4-0. But as we get into the 6th now, still same score, 4-0. We need to close it out because chances are this is going to be our last inning, considering the fact that we are up around close to 70 pitches. In fact, 73, as that is going to be caught by the left fielder. What a grab by him. And man, that was a lifesaver for sure. So great pitch right there. Again, we've been dealing this game, picking up a handful of strikeouts, and again, just really shutting them down for the most part. So let's see if we can do this right here. Finish him off on 3 pitches and get out of this one. Never mind. Let's go fastball up and in. That'll set up for a split, potentially down and in if he doesn't swing, which he doesn't. And honestly, we go for that split down and in. I feel like that's going to be a good place to hit. There it is. That was a great pitch. That was perfect. I don't know where that was missing. And yes, he did. Get him out of... Ends up walking. All right. I disagree with that. And that's where Coach takes us out. The good news is, at the very least, we're in line for the win. But we should have been able to get out of that one for sure. The good news is, that 1 run came later in the game, and that did not get charged to us. So we ended up picking up our 3rd win of the season, and we had a home run in this one. Not just that, but we had 8 hits in 5 1/3. We did have 1 hit and 2 walks, but we'll clean that up in the next one. But before we go ahead and sweep the Cubs, let's see what we can do to get ourselves up to an 81 overall. As that would actually do it right there. I wish we could up the plate vision. But we can actually up the clutch. And I think I'm happy with that. That gets us up to an 81. We're tied with Mountcastle. And the fact that he's cold in the majors right now hopefully allows us to be able to get that spot up on the Major League roster. We're over an 80 overall at both positions. And the way that we ended up starting, didn't know when we were going to end up getting there. But look at that. just over 2 seasons in, we're up to an 80 overall in both, and we're going to continue to absolutely dominate in AAA until we get the call. But if we want to do that, we need to continue to get hits in these games. Hitting 269 now. We need to raise that up as we get one into left field, and that is going to go all the way to the wall, and we're going to absolutely get a double on that one. Great throw, but not enough to catch us. And even though we didn't score on that one, the team picked it up, and we end up winning 3-2, and we end up sweeping the Cubs. And even though the batting average drops in that one, we're still hitting pretty damn well. But before we get into the next game, it looks like our coach is calling us. Coach, I don't like that message, you know? I was just about to get to bed. It's a little creepy that coach is trying to call us, but especially this late and asking us if we're up. But he needs to talk to us about something. I guess it must be pretty important if he's calling this late. Come on, do it. Please tell me, coach. Oh, wait. Please. It's been 1,000 years. Dear God. Thank God. Oh my God, I can finally get to sleep. Thank God we finally get called up to the majors. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys have no idea how relieved I am right now. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to get called into the office, but man, him calling us late at night being a little creepy actually relieves me a little bit and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely 1 a week now. Definitely going to give our family a call and going to tell you guys that we can finally end this video. Again, I totally apologize for how chopped up this video has been because, man, I just counted it just a little bit ago. I have around like 14 hours of footage that we're cutting down. And look at this. We finally have a locker in Miami. Look at those jerseys. Why are you blank? It doesn't matter. Looks like we got our team checking us out. Just about as creepy as Coach was with that phone call. Either way, though, Ryan, Yuri, good to meet you guys, man. Super happy to finally be up here. And I can't wait to see how we look in that Miami uniform. Because, man, it is definitely great to be here, especially after that long, arduous journey to actually get up here. So Coach wants to see us in his office, and I am super excited to see what he has to say to us. I remember this feeling of getting up to New York in the last series, but, man, this feels a lot better because we're doing it as a two-way player. Again, took a little bit longer, but realistically, totally worth the journey. I'm super happy to see where we go and to see if we can actually make Miami a winning franchise. Coach, great to meet you. Thanks for the warm welcome here up at the show. And man, I am, again, just ecstatic to be up at this level. And honestly, Coach, I appreciate the pep talk. I really appreciate it. And again, I can't wait to get to work here. Now, all we have to do, in addition to making this team a better team, is to make sure we stay up at this level and we don't get demoted. But the good news, again, welcome to Miami. We are finally at the big league level, and I'm super excited to see what kind of impact we can make. Because even though my face is covering it up right now, we are 10-18 this season, and you can see a lot of L's on that board right there. But it looks like we are going to end up getting our first start on Thursday. Obviously, we're going to probably be at first base and then DH right here in these first 2 games against the Mets. Obviously, a divisional battle. But again, we are going to end up picking up our first major league start on the bump on Thursday against the Mets at home. And I'm super excited to finally get that opportunity. But thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging in there for this entire video. Again, I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and drop a like. If you're new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time in Miami.